um, well, I'm gonna bring it out of my debate, but this scholar was explaining how when some of the French, either they was the French or Spanish navigators, when they got to Florida.
Mhm.
uh,
New stream in started. Finna end this one. Appreciate y'all, man. 21 people here. Let me get 21 people transferred to the other stream and bring a friend. It's the boy Swap Boss. This is the Argument League. Shout out to Sullivan and SVDL. Let's get it.
was speaking, they were showing how they thought they was Moors where they had the Moors attire and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But now that, from what I understand, is that particular culture that would have anything to do with that type of technology, um, would not be, how to say this. They wouldn't be like the Native Americans that were like Plymouth Rock and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like when the Pilgrims went up that way, and they ran there like that, they wouldn't be the same natives. Is that right? They would be a completely different group as far as I'm concerned, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of them was different because because I got well I'll be showing this in the debate as well how they were saying this one writer was writing how North America was the true last stronghold for the dark races. They were saying how many dark skinned tribes was over here. It was so many, and like you said, it was different ones. Like the ones up where you saying was kind of different from the ones like in Florida, but they said some
Mm-hmm.
type of interconnection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question so I can understand your paradigm a little bit better with this whole slavery concept. Hopefully, it's not getting into your debate too much. If it does, let me know. You can back up. So, how much does the age of discovery play into your paradigm?
A lot.
Can you get into it without giving big information?
Well, from the age of discovery, like what part of it? What about the age of discovery?
So for instance, like if I'm coming from the side that believes that the slave trade happened, right, I'm gonna be talking about like papal bulls, this, that, and third about how the Catholics instituted the slave trade in West Africa, almost like as a continuation of the Crusades and the Reconquista and all that kind of stuff, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
However, if I was coming from your perspective, I might use the concept of they used that whole concept of furthering the Reconquista and the Age of Discovery to go that like they might have found out about ancient lands in America, and they tried to claim them for themselves, etc. In the whole Age of Discovery, whatnot. They try to do some whole switcheroo type stuff.
Well, I would say this. What I found out, what I can say is that from the age of discovery is that what they had found out in the New World, they found different spices and different foods and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And once they took this back, it was like that whole region of Portugal and Spain. It was like, what the fuck? Like all this, and they were so excited about it. So it became more of a trade route, you know, of exchange of goods like that. So, I was bringing that in the debate as well. But I think it was more of a hype. It was like the new shit on the block kind of thing. So, all these different spices that our people over here had for years, they never seen before. So it was an excitement about it.
So this is the one thing that I'm having a hard time trying to grasp in the sense of like if the slave trade didn't happen, if it's less than 100,000 people that made it.
Mhm.
So if this gets into your debate, don't worry about it. We can talk about it some other time. But I'm trying to figure out like why it wouldn't be like the biggest war in history once the Europeans hopped offshore, right? Because like if there's not a lot, if they didn't import the black people from West Africa, right? They're mostly here. It would seem like there'd be no shot for the Europeans to get off on the coastline. Like once they hit the sands, that'd be it. You know what I'm saying? Like unless we're like the most fractured people in the game, How would we not be able to defend the
Well,
American?
I can't say it. In the beginning, when you study colonization in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of when they tried to set up shop, it was destroyed. A lot of times they'll leave and come back and the natives been destroyed their colony. So it took more than one chance for them to build up their colonies. And a lot of times, I can't say. I will just go ahead and say this. They became friendly. Um, you know, I would say that they became friendly. Our people became friendly, and so a lot of attacks ceased, but a lot of them didn't. And a lot of them, because we understand during that time as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this a little bit. It was a battle for these colonies, even between the
Agreed.
Europeans and they was battling and destroying each other's shit. I will say that a little bit.
No, and I think a lot of people don't recognize how many wars actually were popping off here, right? How many different confederacies actually did link up and whatnot. But when I'm looking at the history of the confederacies, right, like from the Powhatan to the Iroquois to whatever, right? Like I'm like, okay, like so, why wouldn't that be one? Like, well, okay, at one point it somewhat was a unified front. You know what I'm saying? But at the same point in time, it wasn't unified to the point to where look, let me just say it like this. Like, I have the hardest time believing that divided Europeans, right? The Europeans are competing against themselves in these colonies, right?
Correct.
That in their division that they would be able to succeed in foreign lands. Again, for native people, this is their land, right? Like they got all the high ground, the upper hand on how to use this place, right? The technology, the resources, all that stuff, right? Again, if the natives didn't tell the people how to plant crops, they would have starved. Correct. So I got a hard time believing that in that type of situation that Europeans could come here and be able to gain ground militarily. You know what I'm saying? That baffles me. Yeah, that's like us going to Iceland or whatnot and just like wrecking shop. Like, no, man, like we're not going to go to some Scandinavian stuff and just start wrecking shop. But like, we're not built for that. That's not our area. You know what I'm saying? The Vikings is about to get it in right quick for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. And, I think a lot of times, I will say this a little bit, different tribes sided with different, some got with the French, some sided with the Spanish, some sided with the English.
Well, so you talking about the people who were slaves actually sided with the people that was enslaving people?
Well, before they was enslaved, they was negotiating and, friendly.
So when did the natives start to get enslaved?
Shit. Pretty much as soon as they got here, damn near.
What time period is that, Don? Because you just said that they was friendly and negotiating and splitting up and working.
It depends on which one you were saying because
you said some
was friendly, some wasn't friendly.
Okay. When did they start to get enslaved?
Pretty much. I say
what year?
Yeah, 2 years after they got here.
What year did they get here?
Who was they?
Exactly. I'm asking you now. You define what you're talking about because you just evidently you got a time period that you're talking about.
We're talking about during the period of colonization
in North America or in South America.
North America.
Okay, so around 1607. So as soon as they get here, that's when the natives are starting to be enslaved, correct?
No, they were still enslaved before that.
Okay, bet. So let's put a pin right there. When's the time period of the Age of Discovery?
We can go from 14. I would say from 1492 up to around the mid 1600s, depending on what discovery. But the main part, I say between 1492 and the middle of the 1600s.
Now, are you familiar with anything that's happening before 1492 that paves way for Christopher Columbus?
Oh, no doubt about it.
Okay, bet. So by the time we get to Columbus, then let's go into around 15, early 15 teens, 15, 18, 15, 19. Um, what does the Spanish Caribbeans look like? Is it just all natives?
Um, I say 95, 98%, 95 to 98%, yes.
And you have that documented on record to be able to make
Without
that
a shadow of a doubt.
bet. So then by the time we get to, let's say, 1550, uh, still all natives?
No, I never said. I said 98%. You had.
I said 1550 now. Keep up. So by the time we get to 1550, what do these Spanish Caribbean plantations look like? How are they populated?
I say about by that time about 94, 95% natives.
And then what about by the time we get to 1570?
Still around the same amount.
You're dead.
You think so?
Do you understand why you would be dead?
I know. I understand. I understand why I'm not dead.
Okay, bet. Okay, and then so by the time now when we get to let's move back up to the 1600s, right? So you're saying that they're enslaving these natives, right? So basically they're in Virginia, and then what? We moving up north to New England, like where are they enslaving these natives at mostly? In what time period do they like what does that look like for you?
Um, Around the same time. A lot of these things were occurring around the same time.
No, they can't be happening. They can't be happening at 15.
Within the same year, trickling on down 2 years.
Okay, bet. So all the way down. So they're enslaving these natives, right? And I think Moore was asking you. I mean, we see all of these various wars, like the Powhatan and all of this stuff, right?
Way more than that.
Right. I said all of them. I'm just using that one for an example. What happens during those wars?
What do you mean?
Bloodshed on both sides.
It's a lot of natives killed, right?
Yeah, you had a lot of natives. You had a lot of colonizers killed as well.
I agree. Colonizers were dying not just from that; they was dying because they couldn't handle the land. I mean, they getting here, they living in them swamps,
and they was dying from the diseases they caught coming over.
Yeah, they died from a whole bunch of stuff. So now let's move to around 1660. Right?
Okay.
Because according to you, they're not bringing no Africans. So how do you denote?
I never said
okay, that. I'm sorry. Let me be clear. According to you, they're not bringing a high number of Africans, right?
There you go. Okay.
So between 1650 and 1700, how many Africans are brought to the coast of North America?
Not many.
You don't have a number though.
Not many. Maybe. I'm gonna say this for the debate, but since you were itching to know, I'll just say not many.
Okay, they're from 1700 to 1860. How many African slaves were brought here?
Not many.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what I needed to hear. And then so I just want to hear you. I love to hear you say this, so I'm just going to keep asking this. You don't have any primary source that's going to negate the manifest of the transatlantic slave trade.
Yes, I do.
You just said the other day you didn't have any primary source.
I never said that. I said I have nothing but primary source.
No, I asked you specifically.
Man, that shit was crazy.
Do you have primary sources that are going to negate the transatlantic slave trade? The manifest.
And I said the primary sources, and I said the manifest themselves. I'm gonna use the manifest themselves as a primary source to show that a lot of them was fraudulent.
Yeah, I thought you said that about the insurance fraud.
No, when I asked him specifically,
He
if we had
said,
primary
"Do
sources,
you
he said
have?"
no.
He
This one.
said.
I might not have been
He
there.
said. They said, "What is?" They said. They said, "What is you gonna bring?" Madonna said, "I got primary sources." Then, and I said, "Hold on, wait. You got primary sources that dispute the
The manifest.
manifest?" And he said, "No." Like
You
Red's
called
dad
and said
off of
that, no.
Friday, and
I'm gonna
just
use the manifest. I said I was
just
gonna
like
use the
Red
manifest.
Dad's off of Friday, he said no.
I
And
said I was gonna
Melvin
use the
said,
manifest
"I was about to
themselves.
say, nah." You said
I
no,
said I was
bro.
gonna use the manifest themselves.
You said no, bro.
So, because I asked more about what all the manifests compiled of.
You said no, bro.
Now,
I remember
now
that
check
specifically,
this out.
bro.
I
I ain't
wasn't here
gonna
for
hold
that
you.
last part that they talked about. You know what I'm saying? I definitely did hear that, but you know what I'm saying? I definitely was here for that part. But I was here for when John was talking about using the insurance aspects of it. Like he was talking about like insurance fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so and then so according to you, insurance fraud was frequent among slave traders.
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay. Now here's a fun little question. Would they make enough money to cover those voyages
No,
by claiming insurance fraud?
no, you would go bankrupt doing all of it.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
Because you gotta understand. I will say this so far. You gotta understand the people who was invested in the slave trade, and you gotta understand a lot of stuff was ran off credit, believe it or not.
mm.
So we would have to be like,
now, hold on. I want to point out that's what he's going to do in the entire debate. Not answer a single question.
What do you
And just
mean?
throw out.
I'm so primary.
No, I just asked you a straight up question, and I'll ask it to you again. Would it be a financially viable good business to try to claim insurance to make up for the losses of a slave trade voyage?
Just asking.
bruh,
Chattanooga.
no,
I'm sorry.
this is the part that doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's like, again, either the slave trade happened or you're talking about the biggest war that we never heard about, right? And so you can't finance that war off bankruptcy, particularly when you're competing with other nations at the same time for the same resource. Like, that's why I'm, that's why I'm perplexed. Like anonymous, also military stuff, right? Like, so we're built for like we're more naturally built for the South, right?
Right.
Than the Europeans are, right?
Right.
It took them from 1492 to 1812 to get from Florida or from the Caribbean to the Mississippi River. You know what I'm saying?
Just to work their way up. Right.
Yes, right. And so if we're talking like 1790, 1800, now we like in North America, we're 20% of the population is slaves or whatnot. That's 1 out of 5. You're trying to tell me we can't take out 1 out of 5 people in the South Side?
Facts. Facts, bro.
But I don't understand it. Like, so if we're in a situation where we got the advantage, like, so for like, I'm up north there, right? Like, I get tendonitis, all kinds of stuff. You put me in the South where I could run all day, all night. I don't got to stretch.
Good as field to go.
You know what I'm saying,
bro? Like,
Now,
bruh?
let me ask you this. I think about this. Okay, we understand they say it was more slaves than people on the boat that they brought over here, right? So
It'd be the same thing if you got more slaves than the people on plantations or whatnot.
right. So that's my thing. Like, okay, you got all these slaves and these few plantation owners. What's the problem with these warrior people? Like you was just saying, the young analogy, wiping these few people out.
Now, okay, now check this out though. Like, so if I'm coming in from different parts of Africa, we're speaking different languages, we're doing certain like we got different cultures and whatnot, right? Like I can understand why there's different, like, particularly after we're being separated, because there is some success for people who do have the same language, right? Because there's a whole bunch of slave revolts that do happen, right? We already know
there's a bunch of slave revolts on the boats coming over. It's so bad that they have these documented in the manifest as to whether or not there were uprisings on the. I don't even got to talk. He wants to play the
Niggas don't believe that.
How many people on homicide? See, I'm just asking.
About 20 at the most.
That was actually literally part of the dispute in the legal case.
Okay.
That's literally was part of this. Like the Spaniards that were there trying to argue what was going on was trying to argue like anyway. The manifest, literally the argument that you're trying to make about the manifest was actually part of the whole homicide. That was the homicide.
In other words, he's saying you're arguing like a white man, but that's all right. I ain't go.
I mean, call it what you want. I'm just saying, according to the records, how many people they say was on the homicide?
Enough.
I've
A
seen
lot.
the number. I'm just saying, how many? Come on, King. More. So we've been open. How many did they say, King?
I cannot recall off the top, but I remember that they were shaving number. That's what I can.
If we can remember, right? All right. Do anybody on the panel know how many people they say was on the homicide?
You tell us, Madonna.
I asked the question. I should be getting the answer.
So literally, the number shaving was.
I'm gonna play. I don't know, King. You tell me.
All right, okay, be all right. Now you want to be disingenuous.
Oh, sure. I'm sitting here muted. I'm sitting here yelling at 50.
He's going off too.
It's 50 slaves.
Okay, you said 50. I heard 146. I think.
Who told you 146?
I read that.
Where? Did you read the court documents?
Bro, I read from different.
No, did you read the court documents?
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
But
wow.
it was 50.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, why?
Hold on, and now hold on. So if we got most of they were saving numbers, right?
Right, they were trying to call them Spanish slaves. Like again, this is the time for where you're not allowed to bring in Africa, right? So they're trying to call them Spanish slaves, and they transport from certain spots to certain spots. And they're playing with the numbers with all of them, right? They don't even understand Spanish, right? They can't deal with no kind of Spanish commands and them kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like they're obviously not Spanish property, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing has to do with like again they're trying to fraud the people into believing that they're actual Spanish slaves going from one Spanish colony to another colony, whatnot, and that's not the case.
Now, see, that wouldn't be my argument. My argument would be the size of the boat and why only so few, even if it was 100 or something, right? So.
Okay, I got you. Like so, again, if slavery is bringing them in from Africa is illegal at the time, right? Am I going to be bringing in one of the super slaver ships?
Okay, all right. According to you, the super slaver ship. How many?
This is your argument against the homicide happening.
Yes, I'm not even bringing up the homicide of my debate.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying just like in general, the conversation we're having. I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right. You're arguing against the homicide happening.
Of course not.
Hold on. Okay.
My argument was
Whoa.
On the boat.
Wait. Hold on.
How many people was on the boat is my argument.
No, we got your ass now.
You ain't got my ass. My thing is, size of the ship. That's
okay. So according to you, then the ship was too small, but it definitely happened. So according to you, then how many slaves was actually on that ship?
I just told you how many I saw through my research.
No, but according to you, that can't be the number because you said it's too small. So I'm asking you.
But I'm saying the boat too small. You can't. But my thing I'm saying is history tells us they had thousands. Hold on, history tells us. Certain history tells us they was voting thousands of people.
No, bro. No, I'm talking about the.
So what I'm telling you is that.
Point.
Right.
Because I'm proving the point.
Go ahead.
I'm for the proof point. So, how many were on the homicide? Simple.
I just told you, bro. I just gave the numbers that.
You said 140 something, but now you're telling me that the boat was too small to have that many people.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
No, hey, bro, stop.
Bro, you're
not finished. You gotta listen.
If that's what. If this how you gonna debate this?
Yeah.
I hope you come back.
I mean, all you gotta do is listen, bro.
What's the maximum capacity of the homicide?
Hold on, no. Let's get to the main point. If you're saying then that the ship was too small to carry that many slaves, but you're affirming that it happened, Tell me how many slaves did it carry?
But not. I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is this: these boats was not bringing. These boats was not bringing that many slaves over, man.
Hey, bro, that's not what I asked you. I asked you a specific question.
I told you.
How many slaves was on that ship?
I told you. From my research, they said 140 something.
So then you affirmed that it was 140 something on there, right?
No, I'm not affirming that.
Then how many were on the ship?
According to certain things I say, they say 140 something.
Bet. So then we all with 100.
Some say it was like some say it was like 80. I think like 86. Some say 86. Some say 140 something.
Hey, brother, I'm asking you.
My whole argument is that they was not bringing 600, 800 slaves on a boat.
Yeah. Okay, so let me tell you why this becomes extremely material to our debate. I'm gonna tell you why it becomes extremely material to our debate.
That's all start happening after the slave.
All you gotta do is relax.
But what I'm saying is,
relax, bro. I know it hurt. I know it hurt. You scrambling, bro. It's okay. We're not even in the debate yet, bro. Relax. Relax.
No, you got.
We're not even in the debate yet, bro. Relax. Relax. So I'm gonna tell you why you in trouble.
Argument. But go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, Ben. I'm not gonna tell you now. You got it, bro. Can I talk to you more? Because he don't want to have a conversation. So I'm
I'm having a conversation. And I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna look Ben Calloway's ass up.
Yeah, I'm already ready.
He got me high right now, bro. We got. Go ahead.
Yeah,
bro.
he been doing a whole bunch lately too. But I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why all this becomes material to the argument. Because if you're going to negate those numbers, but then say it still happened, now you have to confirm something. You can't just say it didn't happen, or you can't say it did happen, but these numbers are false without any type of proof other than I think or I feel like the ships were too small. Because I can show you, based on how they built these ships, how these ships were more than capable of bringing up these numbers of people, especially when you deal with these 4 and 5 mast brigs.
Those are only built onto at a certain time period.
And when did they start to get built, brother?
I'll show you more. I'll show you May 9th.
Yeah, you don't know. So
I do know. I do know.
Here's the point. Here's the point, bro. This is not looking good for you, and we just spar. We just slap us.
Now, I'm not even talking about you because what you're trying to do is
I got it, bro. Like I got it. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I had gave you the benefit of the doubt. I had gave you the benefit of the doubt for a while, bro.
I don't need the benefit of the doubt, man.
But I'm finished with the presentation now. Number one, number two. The fact that you getting tripped up on these type of
no, I didn't get
answers. You got tripped up on that. You got tripped up on the HMS. Look, you got tripped up on the HMS Daphne the other day. You thought. Look, watch this. He thought that the Daphne. This dude thought that the Daphne was a slave boat. This dude thought that the HMS Daphne was a slave boat that actually was out here. Pick up, you a lie and the truth.
You're lying again.
You a lie and the truth.
I said when the slave.
Everybody heard it, brother. Everybody heard it, bro. This is a boat.
I said it was a boat at one time.
32% your daddy the devil, bro.
I said it was a boat at one time that just picked up slaves. I don't make it a slave boat.
Don't make it a slave boat.
Now, real quick, bro. This part I do got to know. Like, so. Were the people on the Amistad, were they Cuban or were they African?
According to sources, they were Africans. But what I'm saying is this more.
What are you saying? No, what are you saying?
He don't have no answers for
no. That's what I'm saying. From the sources I've seen, they said it was African. So that's all I can go by.
Okay. So do you agree with that or do you reject
that? I agree with some of it because.
Okay.
I mean, I said it doctors, you know.
You see how this gonna go all night, right?
From the spot they said the boat came from, they said it was African. They picked up these Africans. But what I'm saying is this more.
But according to you, they couldn't pick up these people.
It would not be suitable to house a lot of these Africans on these boats.
When you say suitable,
So what they was doing was they
know what? Explain suitable. Explain what you mean by suitable.
Because of the conditions of the sea, the rebelliousness of it, the long journey, all this shit had to be taken into consideration.
So you mean this would be
and
the
then
worst?
At the same time, you have to think about. Hold on, let me finish.
This would be the worst trip imaginable here, right?
Hell yeah!
This is the most inhumane, worst trip imaginable
for the slaver and the captives.
Thank you for explaining the transatlantic slave trade, brother. Keep going.
So it goes to show you, by the time a lot of times they got over here, man, the slaves weren't worthy.
You're right, and that's how come a lot of them slavers was losing money.
Exactly. That's why you're gonna lose this debate.
You tell me.
That's why they're gonna lose. That's what I'm telling you, bro. That's why you're gonna lose this debate.
Wait. Talk about. Look what you just did. Look what you just did. You just affirmed. You just affirmed my premise. I just said that they're getting here and they're losing money because a lot of these slaves would be emaciated or they would be beat up or shot because they had rebellions. Okay, and you're affirming. Hold on, family.
All right, go ahead.
So now you're affirming that these slaves came here. You're just saying they didn't get here in great shape and they didn't make a lot of money, but they still came. That's the debate, bro.
It depends on when you're talking to, because we're talking about the Spanish and the French, right? Like, yeah, their people were emaciated, beat to hell, but like it was literally at cost. It was actually monetarily efficient to work people to death and then
death. It was getting so many of them.
Yeah, and then replaced it. Like,
well, I'm gonna show you.
That's why I was asking him what the numbers was by the time we get to 1570 on them.
I gave you the number.
Yeah, you said it was 90% natives. You said it was 90%
Taino. And I'm gonna show you in the debate how it was.
You said it was 90% Taino.
And I'm gonna show you that's why. Show you why as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? The Europeans, these people were smart, intelligent, financiers, man. They knew about their monies. So if you losing, I'm just gonna go and say this: when you losing in profit, what's the best thing to do? And I'm gonna show you make money.
Declare bankrupt.
And what exactly they did.
So, Madame,
this nigga is stupid. I gotta stop being disparaging. Okay, but
I'm gonna make a request from both of you, right? From Anonymous, I'm gonna make this one request. If you don't do it in the debate, I gotta have you do it in a presentation on a whole other way to where you illustrate how the horror that Madonna is talking about actually became part of the monetary structure, the business structure of they factored it in at one point. They're like, you know what? They just became part of the overhead.
No, it's definitely part of it, and this is why once you get away from certain companies having a monopoly, then you have certain merchants who are able to profit majorly, and then other ones who aren't, because they weren't proficient at that very thing that you were just talking about.
Facts. The people who actually monetized the horror of the slaves were the ones who got paid. Like, for instance, the moment they said, let's design a ship to carry these people, because before, our ships aren't designed for this. We're just using them.
Look, because there's a difference between a ship being designed and then a ship being commissioned.
Facts.
Because the ships that are like, yeah, bro, we just, hey, look, man, it's
hey,
I know you're gonna beat me. I know, bro. I know you're gonna beat me, bro. I know, bro. I know you got that book. You got all the primary sources on you.
No, I got that cook.
You know what I'm saying? You finna ask me where the ships are. You finna ask me what happened to all the chains. You gonna tell me that the ships was too small.
You know, I got proof of that.
I know, brother.
You know, I'm gonna say this, man. If you don't understand, I'm gonna say this to help you out. If you don't understand, never mind. I ain't gonna say that.
No, I need help.
Help me out, man. I need that.
Help me, bro.
Please help me out.
Help me. Now I'm gonna paint the perfect picture.
Okay.
Picture perfect.
Okay.
I thought you had something to say.
Yeah. We don't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us.
No, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. We was standing on top of rock when the cracker came.
We know the sad part more.
I just say this because I just say this. We got to. I'm gonna bring it out in the debate, you know. So be prepared. I'm gonna tell you right now. Since you said I ain't giving you no information, man. To understand how long it took to build ships, right?
I'm with it. Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm just gonna leave that right there.
Arthur Don Moore, how you doing, sir?
All of us, give me 2 seconds real quick. Like, so, like, Madonna, the one thing I need you to show me, bro, like, and again, I'm asking you some of this one outside of the debate. This one, I want to have like a real proper, long dialogue with you, right? Like, because my people's from the South, your people from the South, you know what I'm saying? There's, like, so my people come from Alabama by way of Georgia and South Carolina, right?
Go to mine, bro.
That's what's
Stayed on the Cherokee
I
Nation.
come by way of Louisiana and South Carolina.
right. Okay, cool. So we both have relation to like the Gullah and the Geechee and all them types of peoples and whatnot, right?
Slave owners.
The Gullah were slave owners?
Put it in him.
Lance is coming up, man.
Hold on. Lance, I need you to hold that one because that one might have to be our debate, right? Because you just said okay.
I ain't gonna let that slide.
Hell no. That was my people.
Said your people came from South Carolina. Went to
Yeah,
Alabama.
what's up with Paran though?
Cherokee Reservation. Then they went to Atlanta, right?
Okay.
It was already
The exact same path.
I'm Fulani in Europe, fam.
Bro, it don't matter that you see people over there with your blood because they were taken from over here to over there and also taken.
That's right.
And brought them there.
So who taught them Arabic in the midst of all that?
They stayed in. If your people came from Africa, they were taught by the Arabs. If your people came from Europe, well, I doubt they would still have that language coming from all the way from Spain because they were actually trying to hide their languages.
How did Ayuba Suleiman Diallo write 3 Qurans from memory as a Fulani?
Because if he came from Africa, the Arabs ruled. They destroyed the South.
But you just said they came from. You said they came from here, brother.
No,
Bruh, how you gonna say the Arabs ruled when Ishmael was a? Never mind.
This nigga just,
Ishmael.
hey man, whatever. Hey, hold on. Whatever report. Hold on.
Some of them kept the law, some of them didn't.
And whatever report or assignment or whatever the fuck information T Duck you just ran into, bro, that you keep trying to squeeze into every conversation about these goddamn Ishmaelites, bro. You are just, it's ridiculous, my nigga.
I'm sorry. I mean, I can't help it. I know. I know. What the fuck you want me to do? I'm trying to share.
Hey, he got your process, so you feel me? That's what I'm saying.
You can't dispute Quran.
But I think I was just asking him more.
I got a map to show you Orthodox.
Hey, hold on, bro. Before we do all that, hold on, because I know what this finna turn into.
It's about the situation.
You know, I need to break anyway. Go ahead, please.
I'm not even finna touch the fellas like this.
God damn it, man.
Yeah, I know, Chad.
I'm coming back in 30 seconds. I just need a second break.
I'm gonna let y'all come and get it. I just got one more quick question, bro.
I'm talking about that screen share shit.
What up?
Interrupts my screen every time.
The whole goddamn screen, yeah. Let me see if I can see exactly.
So, how many people would y'all say it take to build this in 6 years?
All 3? 3? Nigga said 3.
Thousands, man.
That looks almost their stuff.
Do you know how big these buildings are?
No. He don't know.
I mean, you gotta tell us where it's at and everything. Come on, man.
This is Chicago.
What year?
1893.
Okay, cool. 1893.
What's your point, brother?
How many people do you think it'll take to build these buildings?
I don't know. What's the point?
The point is that these motherfucking buildings are
History.
colony.
It was built by giants. That's what
Wait,
he's
you
trying to
said
say.
stop. You said this is pre-colonial time.
These buildings were here before the colonies came.
You
They were
good?
renovated. These buildings built up around them. Now look, this right here. Look how far back it goes. Look what kind of buildings it is.
Look at it.
Look, these. Look, I'll show you what they really look like. Let me show you.
That's an amazing picture, bro. You really should take physics. It will answer a lot of your questions, sir.
Oh, I know that. Oh, they're gonna
Hey,
They don't even understand it, bro. Hold on. Oh, shit. They don't even understand it.
Hey, Tita, quick question.
Yes, sir.
I know you be trolling a lot. You agree with a lot of what Lance be saying?
Who, Lance?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Who lands?
Oh, okay. I know you be trolling. I just was
That nigga Tito.
Hey, but check it though.
There was 293 people here this year. That was the total
Lance, you
population.
ever work
I'm
construction?
sorry, 293,000 was the population.
I thought he said
I about to have you start swearing like
I was gonna start slapping niggas.
Hold on, let me show you. I'm not
You
bullshit.
ever work construction?
I'm not mad at that. We thought you said 293, like 293.
Okay,
You gotta show us. You gotta break down who was who, Lance. I mean, no, hold on, wait, time out. How do these buildings prove that they were built before? That's what I'm trying to understand. How do these pictures prove that this was built before?
Ain't not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
200, let's say cut that in half because that way
Then you gonna be like, it was the giant.
190 motherfucking men can build this.
No, it was the giants, man.
Why would they choose to have Phoenician artwork as their head? Why would they put these shabby ass signs on these most?
Lance, you're right. It was the giants, bro. We get it now. Thank you.
About paid advertisement, Lance.
Why would they?
Hey, look.
Look how small. Hold on. Look at this structure, and look how small this fucking this boat is.
Lance, I guarantee you got us all.
Wait. So you said the giants built all of this?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. This is what I can tell you.
Hey, look, brother. I'm not talking to you. Right now. No disrespect, bro. I don't want to argue with you about that. Is that okay? Let me just finish with Madonna real quick. I'm not gonna do that right now, bro. That's not going.
Man, you're reaching on that one, man.
I'm not.
Yeah, no. I let him have his thing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's that for long.
Look, where are their cranes?
Hey, brother. Hey,
where are their machinery? Where is their machinery to build all of this?
Lance, you know that blunt
right, bro.
Where is these people got horses and carriages, bro? Where are their cranes and their? Come on, bro, y'all. All right, I'm leaving it alone.
You stupid, bro. You right.
This season 4 right here, bro.
You right.
Hey, the building already done. He had you the cranes.
I'm on
And so this right here, you're saying the only way to build those structures are these huge cranes and all of this advanced giant technology, right?
I'm not gonna do that. I got pictures of them actually renovating the domes and shit like that. So, and they actually built structures. You can see how they brought in
scaffolding.
Yeah, they brought in Italian. They cut down the trees.
So hold on, Lance. Are you saying
they cut down the trees around that area to repair some of the buildings?
So are you saying my high school is prehistoric? Because I saw them remodel that motherfucker.
So I said that I don't know what your high school looks like, but if you see Phoenician and it has a basement, then it's pre-flood.
It got a basement, bro.
So what year did these Italians come over here?
Hold on.
Pre-flood. Hold on. You gonna slip that in? Oh, you really on that line.
The buildings are like all of the buildings around here.
All these architects.
You can. Hey, you get ready, man. The ninth, man. I mean, yeah, the ninth.
Get ready for that.
You get ready for this fire, man.
Okay, let's keep
What?
it
He
going.
swallowed
You should run it.
it.
Hold on,
Mush mouth. Mush mouth.
don't run
He
his mouth.
said, "Oh, look, still free."
Mush mouth still talking. So, all right. How does anything that you said negate the transatlantic slave trade?
I'm gonna get you a shirt with that on it, dog.
You got that right. Like this don't be y'all do understand, like the majority of what this dude said, I could have said, you know what, brother? That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. And none of it negates the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah.
None of it negates
You
100,000
literally got
people.
me waking about my sleep saying that. I want you to look at it. You know what I'm saying?
But and here's the funny thing though. You notice we still ain't got one answer.
Man,
What? Come on,
hey, the landslide.
Bro, I've been kicking there like Shinobi.
Flood, thank you, T.
I've been kicking there. I've been kicking there like Shinobi. Hey, now come on, man.
Bro.
And
You
I'm
know,
like,
shut up.
you know what I'm saying?
You know, shut up with all of these Rudy Ray Moore goddamn.
Not
Oh, my
really,
life.
man. That's how we talk, man. You already, you know what I'm saying?
The big bad lie.
Bro, I got five references, man.
Oh, my life.
Yeah.
Hey, that nigga said. That nigga said, "Hey, nah, when I see you in this debate, hey, nah, I'm gonna push up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start on your ass."
This nigga Squad said my school got a basement. He said, "Oh, it was no free flood." Like he just
That
came out of
big
nothing.
free
Like,
flood.
hey,
Hey, that motherfucker.
wow.
Hey,
Hey,
hell,
no front, bro. Like,
nah.
I'm waiting on some of y'all to see the 450 I'm just letting you know, man.
He said, I can't coexist with this shit.
And I'm going for everybody he boycotted.
Charlie,
You got it, bro. Because more wants some points. More
on
finna
my
kill
life,
everybody's statistics.
on my life, he finna go crazy on y'all
In middle school though, he didn't say nothing. Ain't you?
He
ass.
said
Google
middle
this.
school.
Google this.
Oh,
Worldwide engines destroyed
oh,
in 1800.
oh.
That's like landslide in the mud flood.
Now I want to talk about how the White House is prehistoric, bro. I don't know how that.
I ain't
How
gonna front, man. Hey, some of y'all niggas, some of y'all is the most
damn.
mentally hardy ass niggas. Y'all definitely come from good African stock. Y'all don't even know it, bro. Because the type of ass whooping y'all be taking logically and intellectually to still show up and stick with this, I gotta commend you.
You're surely an inferior being. That looked like old girl that had that TV show.
Hey, Lance, what made you think a middle school was pre-flood?
It had a
For real?
basement.
Hey, because the new Phoenician got a basement, huh?
All my life. Phoenician basements.
What
That
about the
lady,
basement?
that lady getting her wig snatched off.
What about the basement denotes pre-flood? This one.
Phoenician basements, bro.
He said Phoenician, and they got a basement.
Hey, bro, I ain't finna laugh at this, bro. I'm not. I ain't gonna.
I want to know how the White House prehistoric, bro. I think that the White House built on the ancient megalith.
I'm on my way to being a champion. I'm on my way to being a champion this season. I want to set a better standard. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it
So
took you 3 times to get that off, bro. You gotta try
yeah,
again
I had to
tomorrow.
make sure everybody was quiet.
Yeah, man. Every time I do it, it's like a movie. Watch. I'm
I
being
wanted
champion
I
this
wanted to
shit.
make sure
See,
you
you
heard
fucked
it
it up.
especially.
You the only
I wanted
person
to make
fucked
sure
it up.
I wanted to make sure
Hey, what is that? In cozy? You want to take you off. Exactly, but that is gonna be in cozy, ungozy, whatever music I'll call it rap that. Man, I
Oh,
got the
it's
easiest road.
Oh my
what you
life.
say? You say in
I got
ghost?
it easy.
Rio and
Nah, you talking about Minister House.
Oh, you talking about Rio?
Real.
Hey, so you wanna know what's funny, bro? Like, unlike y'all, I've been actually utilizing my time, prepping all types of debates. You know,
Overthinking yourself, overworking your mind,
oh no,
burning yourself out.
I ain't talking about no, man. No, I'm talking
I
about
wasn't doing shit.
I'm talking about for everybody that's on my back.
I know you should be. Yeah, you should be fucking knitting a sweater and goddamn growing some vegetables, some shit. 'Cause I don't know what you stressing about, bro. Madonna is goofy.
That's what y'all want me to do.
Madonna's a goofy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, you on the other side of the bracket, bro. I haven't even started focusing on the other side of the bracket. So you know what I'm saying? I ain't even on no premeditated no bullshit. But real talk,
told me not to tell.
my life, Madonna is a breeze, bro. For real.
Yeah, no, look, bro. We know what this is gonna be.
Yeah.
That ain't the point, though.
But don't let that get you to the
On
point.
that stumbling block, ain't none know he got it from him, man. Ain't know it.
Yeah, stumbling block. He's gonna stumble, recover, and get you the fuck out of here.
I ain't even gonna stumble, bro.
You might stumble when he say them goddamn Phoenician basements. When that nigga coming down with Lance information, Lance is Madonna too.
Bro, fumble. I'm gonna that would be the worst. I'm gonna return it like worse. I'm gonna return the fumble. I'm gonna go fumble. I'm gonna return it like Eric Metcalf. Touchdown. Okay, so how many of the manifest of the transatlantic slave trade of the Africans that are brought to North America are false? A lot. I mean, we got to see a number that's going to equal to negating all of those slaves.
Well, I got other ways to negate that.
and then, are you familiar with how many ships they say came? How many manifests there are that say they came directly to North America?
Yeah, I saw that, man.
No, I'm asking you, do you know the number? I'm not asking what you're saying. Do you have any idea off the top of your head what the number is?
Yeah, I heard the numbers. Yeah, I heard the numbers.
What's the number?
A lot.
Yeah. A lot. So you realize that you got to negate enough of those to get under 100,000, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have. Wait a minute. Is the Caribbean still part of the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, you know it is. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Hey, I'm just playing with him in North America right now.
More. When I show it, more. Wow, more. When I show him,
more. That shit ain't gonna work in other days.
Know where to hide. Know where to run to. Know where to hide.
I just want you to know that, bro. But real talk, we do gotta have a conversation when you want the.
I just hope more know what Piran is, man. We got 3 days.
I'm trying to get bro. There wasn't Sopranos. Is a way to die.
Huh? I don't know how. Israel was into the wilderness first.
Facts. Everybody know that.
And then what did Israel do? Run right behind them.
Right behind Israel.
They were scared of motherfucking Pharaoh.
Hey, Orthodox, didn't you say you was taking that debate with me? Is Rome America?
No. This ain't nothing about Rome in America, bro. But we definitely got to talk about this whole Bella stuff, bro.
So more. How many different tribes you think was in the Carolinas?
In the Carolinas?
Yeah, season 4 top 10 debates.
Just by language, bro, I can show you probably.
Taz was top 10 this year. Why are you so inconsistent?
He got a debate all time about 15 to 18.
By language, I can show you at least 15.
Y'all talking about African tribes or native tribes?
That's tight right there. That's tight.
I'm debating 12 through 18, 16. They're the only people.
Hold on, who did I grab that debate with earlier?
It was
native.
No, I'm talking about African tribes.
Oh, how many native tribes do you think was in the Carolinas? In what time period? The 1500s. Bro, this is stupid. 1500, 1600, bro. You always say that is stupid, bro. 1500, 1600, 1700. How many tribes, native tribes, you think was in the Carolinas? Just so stupid. No, it's not. Trust me, it's hella relevant.
So when you're saying a native tribe,
I just said it's not relevant. I just said it's stupid.
So when you're saying a native tribe, give me a for instance, because because we might differ on who we consider native tribes and who we consider whatever. So I just want to be clear on like. So you're talking about like the people who would speak like the Muscogee languages or which ones? Which language?
Well, the different ones according to different
maybe the language they was talking
different. I would probably say around like
Israelites adopted Israel.
Somebody check T Duck. I think T Duck has a seizure, dog. Somebody check that man.
Niggas don't like Billy Hope.
Damn. That nigga really want to talk about this shit.
No, I just want to know really about the info. I don't want to blindside.
I thought you was gonna cancel that debate, T-Duck.
Hey, Madonna, how many native tribes do you say was in South Carolina at that time?
Oh yeah, I would say about 7 or 10, by the way.
In the Carolinas, I would say about that's about
He said, hey, that's the sound you make when your brain. That's the sound you make when your brain is doing nothing at all. He tried to get that motherfucker going like. It did not happen. He did it again.
Hey, they gotta make the way. The cops gotta make the way for the Tubi documentary. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my life,
That's the difference.
Well, everything I'm bringing this debate, it came from textbooks, and different PDFs.
That means you got poor reading comprehension.
He thought he got off by saying textbook. like that was some shit.
Yeah, because the textbook get primary sources.
Wow. But did you?
Textbook gives the primary sources.
Man.
And you have a textbook that deals with the Charleston dishonest.
Textbook.
Do you have a textbook that deals with like the amount of slaves that came to the ports of Charleston? Because like if I remember correctly, roughly like
they all kill his argument.
That came to the South came through Charleston.
They definitely all kill his argument if it's a textbook.
Yeah, like if you read the manifest, a lot of the manifests, I'm gonna bring it. I was just saying this so far. You read a lot of those manifests, and when you read in the section where it say inbound and outbound, you see where they're coming from.
He sound like he bite his tongue a lot.
You would see that a lot of them was right here in America more.
He be biting the side of his cheek on the inside.
Oh God. Oh my God. Oh, I just figured out how stupid you really are. Oh my God. Oh.
Proud of you.
I really.
Our ancestors with the French Huguenots and Jacobites.
Yo,
if I'm stupid, that means the manifest that I've been reading over is stupid.
No, it means that you have no clue what you're reading.
Yes,
and you don't understand.
They tell you, bro. That's why.
Let me make sure. Let me hold on. Let me get this clear. Let me get this clear.
Yeah.
Of what you just said. So you just said a lot of the manifests that you read showing them coming from the Americas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you look at the inbound and outbound,
hey, you right, buddy.
I'm gonna ask this question one more time. Y'all sure the Caribbean part this thing, right?
Yes, sir.
They went out. Yeah. Oh yeah, man, the Caribbean. I got that one a lot more.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. He said the majority of all them slaves, Taino or natives. But see, look. So remember what I told you, though, Madonna. Remember what I told you, because I don't want you to accuse me of double dipping.
What you told me?
So I told you, I'm gonna show you what comes directly to the Caribbeans, and then I'm gonna show you what comes directly to North America.
Direct.
That's cool.
I hope you understand it.
Oh, trust me. I know exactly where you're coming from. I've heard it, and I'm a Shinobian.
I know, brother.
Oh,
Because I don't want you to say that I'm double dipping and that I'm bringing the slaves.
Hey,
The slaves that was
hey, that nigga Madon, that nigga Madon be at the pawn shop looking for a power cord to a Atari.
That's funny.
He trying to say pitfall.
That's funny. That's funny as hell.
Hey man, anybody? I'm looking for the game genie for the Atari.
We talk about
The
primary.
game genie.
We are. We really are talking about primary sources.
I'm telling you, man, bro. Hey, man, listen.
Whew. Hey, fellas, I just found something. Can I read it to y'all?
Is it a bump?
Hey, hold on. Hey,
Is it a bump on your lip?
Can I just play for a little bit longer than I should?
It's actually okay. Go ahead.
I
Go
just
ahead,
want to
man.
play for a little bit longer than I just set up.
Off already.
Hey, hold on. Hey,
On the base stuff.
So as it pertains to ports, the Charleston, you got a lot of records that discredit the actual manifest of the slaves coming directly from Africa to those ports, right?
No, I said a lot of the manifests.
Not all of them, King.
I said a lot.
I just said a lot. I didn't say all. I said a lot. I said a lot because I know you now. I said a lot.
Okay, cool.
So you got manifest that's gonna discredit
Real
a
talk.
lot of the ships that's coming directly from Africa to Charles. Not the ones that's coming from Boston or the ones that's coming from you stupid nigga. Hey, my fault. Let me try.
I'm gonna show you. I just tell you this so far. I'm gonna show you how in a lot of these manifests they were just going up and down the seaboard, up and down the seaboard, up.
I agree. Look, I'm gonna help you. You want to know what that's called?
What's that called?
That's called the slave trade. Okay,
It's not
study that.
slave trade.
Hey, go ahead and study that too. Okay, but that's why I said, watch this. That's
So
why I
you
said.
can't say that's
No, look, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
Bro,
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. Okay, all right.
All right, go ahead.
No, it's good. Go ahead, man.
Because anything,
no.
if it's not going across the Atlantic Ocean, you cannot say it's part of the transatlantic slave trade.
What's in between Florida and Jamaica?
Bro, the Atlantic. That's not the point, though. But see, look, I knew he was gonna try that. That's why I told you. I'm talking about.
Come on, man. All right.
Hold on. Listen, bro. What did I just tell? I think you got a real problem. Listen, I just clearly told you I'm going to show you what's coming directly from Africa to North America and what's coming directly from Africa to the Caribbean. So you can't accuse me of double dipping and using the intra-American.
You can use that. You can use that. I'm not concerned about you using
You don't even know. You don't even understand what I just told you.
I want
You don't even understand what I just said. That's clear enough.
You're saying they was coming from Africa, taking them to the Caribbean,
And that
from the Caribbeans to the Americas.
It's to get to North America.
No, that's actually, it's cool, bro. I'll deal with you on the night. What am I reading?
Yeah.
I'm gonna read this. Listen to this white.
they going that Orthodox more.
Check it out. It says, I am a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, solidly middle-class family, primary roots in the Deep South. All my known ancestry goes back to the very beginning of what has to be known as the United States, starting with the Mayflower arrival to the so-called Plymouth Bay Colony. I'm a direct descendant of William Brewster, a moving force behind the Pilgrims and a religious leader of the Plymouth Colony until the arrival
That
of
shit
Lord
sound modern as fuck.
to the 750s with the influx of the Scottish Irish.
That's modern, bro. That's a lie.
All right,
That's
listen. This is a white dude telling the story.
I know, but that's modern. That's modern made to seem. No, bro. Oh, no,
Listen,
bro.
bro. It is important to note my dad's side of the family.
Why are we
family
listening to this?
was repeated to my generations that of the Huguenots. That was all they knew. No elaboration, just that they were Huguenots.
Wrong vernacular.
The Huguenots were recorded in available historical reference as Reformed Calvinists. So the available information not long ago was that of some reason a Protestant Christian sect in France. The Huguenots were persecuted and even massacred for almost 100 years. Come to find out in the internet age, the Huguenots were Cathars and Moors.
Oh shit. Okay, man.
1750 Scottish Irish Cathars and
That's
Moors.
that's
And look, come on. Despite the fact that
Montgomery
you just,
County, Maryland.
despite the fact that you just showed me some random answers for some dude, right?
That's how you
I'm
take
gonna
that.
give it. I'm gonna give it to you.
That's how you
Right.
take that.
I'm gonna give it to you though. That still don't mean that every Huguenot was a quote unquote Moor, or that every Moor that he's talking about is a black person. So I'm trying to understand what that proved.
That don't assert my claim.
What claim, bro? Because I mean, you was talking about giants earlier, and then you brought this. So what's the
yeah.
claim
Then you
talking
said
about?
prehistoric White Houses. What is this support?
Oh,
What
you
is
said
this support?
Jews? I think you're trying to prove that Jews was in
Hey,
it.
Madonna, he can speak for himself. You can't help him because you suck.
God damn.
So this is a white guy that made claims that he researched his history and found out that the Huguenots were Moors and Catholics, which backs my claim that.
But that man just said that he was an Anglo-Saxon. So
That back to claim that what?
So because he got mixed down the line. He got mixed out.
okay.
No, he
Yeah,
said
gotcha.
he's listen.
Okay. Information, bias. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not an old piece, bro. That's a modern piece speaking from an old paradigm. That's not the right vernacular, bro. You can read that, bro.
I got
So
it.
you can't use the oral history is no longer valid.
I didn't. No, I just said I would give it
It's
to
all
him.
about positivity.
No, I just said I would give it to him. He's come to a lot of conclusions that piece that he just read does not prove. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure. One more time so I can read it.
Yeah, read that shit. That shit down and said the New York Yankees, Michael Jordan. You read it, man.
This I'm a Don read too. This why this debate is gonna
I
be.
mean, he got a whole thing. He got a whole piece. He just telling from his family.
Hey, nah, bro. Bring up what you just showed me, bro. Bring us what you just showed me.
He wicked. Look at him. Hey, he wicked as hell.
Man's got ammunition over there.
All right, there you go.
It started at his life. It was I had to read everything, so
I got you. I'm down on the third paragraph.
Screenshot.
Why am I up talking, y'all?
Man, because you've been thirsty in that chat all day. I've been waiting on your ass to jump on too. I've been trying to get your ass up here. I'm like, hey, Madonna. I heard.
I heard you. Look, I heard you.
Hey, when you did get on, I said, I'm going to leave him alone. I'm going to leave. When you did get on there, fuck it. Then he got on mad.
I'm really sitting there typing shit up for tomorrow and all of this shit.
Yeah, you said you was under the covers.
Oh my life.
So Lance, what does this prove? Just so I understand.
Well, my whole piece, what I was telling niggas in the beginning, is that the Huguenots that came from France were black people. They so happen to be the lineage of the Sephardi Jews that comes out of Spain. They ended up in South Carolina and initiated the actual cotton and sugarcane plantations. These people were black.
So what was your point of reading this again?
And then just so I'm clear, every Huguenot was black, right?
No, because the Jews.
That's just a yes or no, and then you can explain. Hey, bro. Hey, look. Hey, time out, man. Hey, look.
Yeah. A lot of Huguenots.
I got you, Madonna.
Yeah.
Hey, no. Hey, listen. Hey, no. I gotta make a quick statement. Let me make a quick statement.
We clarified this in season 1.
Yeah, so I'm saying exactly, Swab. Thank you, Swab. Come to go ahead and put this out there. Look, y'all new to this, okay? I can see this already. This really is the argument league, right? And this gonna turn into where we have 3-minute slapbox sessions, right? So here's the rule: somebody asks you a question that you can answer yes or no to, you'll get a chance to qualify. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. But off rip, before you do anything else, the first thing out your mouth should be a yes or a no.
Yeah,
or you have to say, or you need to say, no, it's too complicated. I can't answer it like that. And people gonna learn to stop asking your ass any questions. Yeah. But all of this, you gotta really never know, bro. Is it a yes or a no? Like
you make me listen to all of that shit just so you say no, and I'd be like, oh, okay, well, Like,
Right.
you could have been got that shit
I'm
over with.
really asking you: is every Huguenot black?
Not today.
I'm talking about.
Hey boy, that nigga trying to be the interrogation round king. Not today. Damn.
That's right, man. Good answer,
That
man.
nigga Mayweather.
Hey, so I'm gonna tell you why it's a horrible answer because we're not talking about today. You were clearly just talking about the Huguenots that came over here and set up these plantations. So since I gotta be specific with your wicked ass, is every Huguenot that you talking about that came over here and established these plantations, were they black?
Not every Huguenot. Can I qualify?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, qualify. Thank you.
Because the Jews converted people that came from France with them, that came from Spain, into their religion, into their way. So that way they all were united to be secret Jews. That would make them Huguenots. Just like you have white or so-called white Jews today, or Jews that are not from the black ethnic background, they were converted so that they that was like the law. They had to convert into Judaism, and we converted those people. We converted them, and then when the law changed, they kept their identity. And
when did the law change?
I really want to say from the beginning of 1860 to 1890. So I want to say 1890, but here's the deal.
Bro, you be real long-winded, bro. Come on, man. You gotta get to
parts.
Oh man,
Racial Integrity Act is what.
I don't got 30 minutes.
All right, well, fuck it then, nigga. Stop asking me if you don't want the full question. Don't ask me shit else, nigga.
When he said, "Don't ask me if you don't want the full question," not the full answer. Man, you be high.
I meant to say the full question.
Hey, listen, bro.
Right now.
You gotta understand, like, I know you think you just the most brilliant dude on the panel. We see where it's going. Like, can you allow us to build and get other questions out? Like, you said this information so much, we know where it's going for the most part, bro. Like, but you be getting off.
So you think that was significant to my information to show a random ass white guy whose heritage connected to the Huguenots, which connects to the Carthage and the Moors?
Did you think that was irrelevant, bro? You thought he brought that shit up for nothing?
which connects to the people who actually were in South Carolina in the 15, 1700s.
And then, so I'm clear that every Moor.
Man, Domo owe us a coffee, bro. This nigga brought this nigga to the league.
This random person, this random Anglo-Saxon that you just showed me, that random person, when he's referring to the Moors, he's only talking about black people, right?
Yes, he's talking about the blacks, the Carthage, and the Moors.
Okay, so hold on, the blacks, the Carthage, and the Moors, or the Carthage and the Moors are blacks?
Absolutely, the latter.
Got it. Appreciate you. Okay. Yeah.
That's right, man.
And then one more quick question, because this is what I was really trying to understand. Every plantation owner in South Carolina, or you know what I'm gonna say, the majority of the plantation owners in South Carolina were black Huguenots, which make them black Jews. Those are who established the plantations, and so then they would have been the ones buying Africans that were brought over here, correct?
If you went according to that paradigm, however, I showed you that those wouldn't be actual Africans that are coming over here. And slavery, according to the paradigm that these wicked motherfuckers later, yes, but in the beginning, it was not what they told us.
Bet. Okay, so around 1650, once the laws change, right, then that turns into real chattel slavery where they're buying, and we won't call them Africans because you reject the notion that they're Africans, but they're buying slaves from the coast of Africa, correct?
They're not buying, hold on. What's the dude named the first slave that lost that? I'm trying to get my timing right.
Kunta Kinte.
Joe Jackson.
No. He's a real simple name. He kept fleeing black slave master.
He's talking about the first perpetual slave.
killed his first actual chattel slave. He went to his black slave. He kept running from his black slave master trying to get out of the indentured servitude. And the judge told him, "Nigga, you stuck with this nigga you for life."
You should know you.
Grand Scott.
It's John Punch. Shut up.
There you go.
This nigga said Dread
I was
Scott.
trying to let Madonna. This should be pertinent to Madonna's argument.
It absolutely is. That's perfect.
It 100% is pertinent to mine.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
that's why I'm being fair. But John, what time was that? What was that time period, Madonna?
Like 1830.
Oh, Madonna. Answer the question.
Hey, T-Duck gotta be stopped.
Yeah, but
He gotta be stopped.
He done get wild as shit.
What the fuck was that? What was that about, bro?
I can't front this nigga's funny, man.
That nigga said Dread Scott. Fuck that. Fuck. You just throw yourself out there, huh, T-Duck?
Let's just say this shit was around about 16.
Oh, shit.
Right. Maybe.
And technically, I'm using his wrong name, but I just want to see if somebody. But anyway, keep going. So
No, it is. It's John Punch. His name is John Punch.
He got another name too, though. But yeah, so this happens around 1650. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so that set the precedence of what would be considered chattel slavery.
I agree.
That was a black slave master. Do you agree?
That had John. Yeah, for all more than likely, yeah.
Right. And in Virginia, the likeliness of it being a black slave master, seeing as though the first
Pretty high. It's pretty high. Yeah.
pretty high. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you got to
Yeah,
remember
hey, but hold on. Let's
in the 1500s, these black people that's
hold
there.
on, let's qualify a couple things though, real quick. Let's qualify. It wasn't only black slave masters, right? And even these blacks, according to what they're saying, came over here from Africa, right? Came over here from Africa, and some of them were indentured servants and got their freedom. A lot of them didn't know, right?
They didn't say they came from Africa.
Oh, a lot of them did come from Africa, but
No, they said, what you talking about, the first 20?
even after that,
Okay, after that, now you got a networking.
right?
Because those Portuguese slaves that were so-called slaves, those Portuguese POWs were officers and high-ranking officers and women.
Okay, I understand that that's your narrative.
They were captured from a war.
Hold on,
That's
bro.
what that captured the motherfucker.
That's not what I understand that that's what you're saying. That's not what the history shows.
Not actually what the history says.
Okay, so let's just keep
You
going.
want to bring it up right quick so we can?
No, please don't, please don't. Okay, because I could easily concede to this point just to get to where we're trying to get to, because now we're making some leeway, right? And so let's concede. Let's say that everybody from 1619 to 1655 are some form of indentured servants that come over here as POWs and whatever. Then we start getting to these perpetual slavery laws, right? Now, and I need you to be honest, don't bullshit me. Do you agree that this is when they start to import Africans, whether you are saying they're Jews, Israelites, Moors, goddamn Martians, but they are importing slaves from the coast of Africa to bring them to the Americas or to North America at this point to be a perpetual slave? Yes or no?
I'm already mad at Lance's answer.
I want to say no, bro, because motherfuckers came here. They were actually free even after their indentured servitude.
No, I'm not talking about the
and
indenture.
made them became and made them.
Brother, did you understand the question?
No, he didn't.
Did you understand the question, brother?
I answered it first.
No, you're not speaking to the question.
Say the question again, brother, and then
You're explaining to me the indentured servant. I'm talking about those that come now after the perpetual slavery laws are passed in Virginia. And now we just remember now,
I'm telling you that none is coming. None is coming, bro. Why you won't listen? Nothing is coming as a slave.
Relax. You went back to indentured servant laws. I'm talking, and the reason that I stopped is because
it was still indentured servant laws.
Right
it was
back
just
at your
slavery laws as listen.
bro, is
Slavery
this what
laws
you do in
was
your real life?
listen. Slavery
No, bro,
laws
for real,
was
is
in
this what
place
you
that
do in
if
your
you
real
tried
life?
to run, that was the consequence. That indentured that perpetual servitude would be the consequence.
No, that's not.
Yes, bro. It didn't apply to everybody immediately. It didn't work like that. Only it was first applied that if you ran and tried to get out of your indentured servitude contract, perpetual slavery would become your outcome of that. That was how they implemented it.
Okay, hey, Lance, can I share a secret with you, Lance, real quick? You know I'm like 200 years old. You know I'm a slave, right?
No, true story.
I killed you on Amazing, bro. How you gonna
okay, I remember you did.
Hey, hold on. Okay, so let's go with that narrative still. You still got a lot of time to make it through.
Keep in mind, they're still children.
Okay, awesome. So you said first off, you said every slave that's brought over here is a child.
A white child.
No, they're not slaves. They're not slaves coming.
Okay. So
gave the kids milk, bro. Like
facts. Facts.
Is the Constitution prehistoric?
The Constitution is built on megaliths, bro.
I mean, I'm just asking: would it be considered a prehistoric document?
Lance?
I wouldn't be able to answer that. I didn't never consider it.
Your brain. Hold on. Let's try to get through that right now. Prehistoric, meaning before history. Now, the Constitution, which is recorded history. Hold on. You didn't make it through the whole sentence.
He didn't even make it through our whole conversation.
That shit is crazy. You just admitted your brain is incapable. So let's get through this. Prehistoric meaning before history. The Constitution, which is a written document. Historical. Okay. Do you think this recorded piece of history is prehistoric?
No, not like that. That's not what crossed my mind. What crossed my mind was these ideas didn't originate in America. Therefore, these people were ancient people. They descend from an ancient people. These ideas were carried.
If that's what your brain do, bro, I know you eat.
Made my arm itch.
I literally just scratched my arm.
Tell me more like it really just made my arm itch.
I know it bothers you, but that's how my brain works. In order for me to be
honest, hey, your brain is not your friend. Shit.
I understand that you think in your mind you being honest, but you're not, because what you're doing is you negating a whole entire side of the conversation. That's not to say that you don't have some person.
Because I saw
damn it, bro.
That nigga don't give a fuck about the rest of your sentence. That nigga hear the first part and go. He's dialoguing with you. It wasn't even an interruption.
Like, you took a pause, you were done, and I'm sitting, and what I'm trying to explain to you, and I'll finish where I stopped, where I was cut off. I'm not saying that some of your information is not pertinent and material to other conversations. But what you're doing is you're negating an entire other half of the conversation that needs to be addressed, and you're just saying, nope, fuck it, it didn't exist. It never happened. Without any proof. Do you understand then why people are looking at you like, bro, you gotta do better?
What proof am I showing?
You're not showing anything that negates these slaves being brought here. Or when you do admit it, you're saying, no, they're all kids. That, like, where do you get?
What I'm saying is this, bro.
Oh, man.
The numbers that you suppose that so-called have are getting in the way of the numbers that I have, and history shows there are other people other than they're saying the slave, which will account for how many Negroes that are in the land in a certain period.
No, that's a
Are you
fact.
yeah. feet or your lying eyes?
Yeah, that's what that is. That's what that is, buddy. And then, can you tell me what percentage of these Huguenots that come over here? And just so I'm clear, what's the total number of the Huguenots that come to South Carolina?
Sure, but I will tell you that 300,000 left.
I'm
The majority came to South Carolina, Virginia, and Louisiana.
How many?
300,000 was exiled.
Okay, and what time period was that?
1545.
So 300,000 are exiled in 1545, and they go where?
Actually, they go to England. They go to.
You just said that they went to Virginia, South Carolina.
How you gonna ask me a question and then get in the fucking way again, bro?
Bro, I'm telling you what you just said. Please.
I already told you those.
Bro, talk to me like a grown man, fam. I'm talking about what you just said. Relax for a second.
I already told you those already.
Bro, no, hold on, listen, bro. I'm telling you why I'm confused. You literally just said that these Huguenots went to Virginia and to South Carolina. But then you're telling me that they were exiled in 1545, and now you're changing it and telling me that they went to Portugal. Which one am I supposed to believe?
They were exiled. They couldn't all go to one place, but they went to where their relatives were already at. They already had connects on where to go.
Yeah, so real quick. So the part of the conversation that you just anonymous, me and Lance had this sort of go around earlier. So I asked him about the relatives that he was talking about. He was talking about the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh that were already here. So we had the Book of Mormon conversation and whatnot.
Oh, okay, that's what the Mormons went with. Okay, bet. Okay, so look, watch this. Man, this is going to be difficult. So they're expelled 1545, Huguenots. So from there, they go to.
Hang on, as I'm saying it, look it up because I'm just going off memory. I don't have the information.
No, bro, I'm not. Bro, it's cool. I'm going off memory too, right? So, but we saying they leave 1545. They go to like Portugal, England, different places like that, and then from there they come to the colonies, right?
No, that's their portion. That group of people exiled into that area. The Netherlands, Germany, Russia, that group of people. So they already know where to go from.
All right, bet. Yeah, I'm with you. So that's 300,000, right? That's 300,000. Right?
That's 300,000.
So I'm going to tell you why I'm asking you this, so you understand where I'm trying to walk to.
Like they leave with the steamship.
Okay, bet. So yeah, I'm not taking that bait. You're gonna stay right here. You're gonna stay right here.
Nah, because you know when the steamship was invented, right?
Right. Yeah. So we're gonna stay right here. So you said 300,000 left, 1545. Somewhere in that time period, right? Then they go to Portugal, England, all of that. How do the Huguenots that left in 1545 go to Portugal and all these other places end up in South Carolina? And how many of them ended up there?
This is what it said. Would you like me to show you the quote again, bro?
No, you can just tell me off the top of your dome if you know it.
So the 300,000 that leaves go into a lot of different directions. These directions that they go in were from the prior exile out of Spain. They already knew where to go to. They had a network of trade. So those ones that went into England, they went there and grew up and prospered. Those ones that came into South Carolina, they stayed here and grew up and prospered. Those that went into
no, wait, stop right there.
All the same.
When was the South Carolina trade route set up?
No. Yes, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What time do these 1545ers come to South Carolina? Please tell me that.
Yeah, it was a consistent exile from 1545 to I want to say 1711.
Bro, when do people start receiving slaves and setting up plantations in South Carolina, sir?
Okay, from the time that they get here.
No, that's the real question. What time, what year do they start setting up plantations and receiving slaves or receiving indentured servants in South Carolina?
I would only have to be able to give you a roundabout, and that would be 1547
He
or
laughed at
so.
himself. That laugh.
Because as soon as they came here, bro, they had money. They immediately got involved starting sugar plantations.
Yeah, you see that more of the.
Oh, you done? All right. Well, let's see if
Yeah,
I'm
you
wrong.
got it, brother.
Hold on. Let's see if I'm wrong then.
Yeah, let's see. 1547.
No, you said that.
Lambs, you gotta go with the Giants, man. You shut
Hey,
them
bro,
down every time.
when do they even start colonizing North America?
BC, fam. Prehistoric.
When the Phoenicians start building, you know what
White
I'm
House.
saying?
White House.
I'm being honest now. What we talking like?
He said the White House is
50,
prehistoric.
80? If we lucky, like.
He said the White House is
This
prehistoric.
is what I was trying to bring forward about, like it took from 1492 to 1812 to
get to the Mississippi River, bro. Like
what? Man, y'all are well indoctrinated. Good job.
Mm-hmm. The Lincoln Memorial was
bro,
prehistoric.
like you do understand, like you're saying negates even like now you're killing a lot of what's going on with these natives. What we know happened with these native wars and whatnot.
No, because our people did go to war with some natives, but they wasn't our people that they went to war with.
So these natives were fighting black people.
Yes, they were. It was some natives that was white that were cannibals. It was some natives that were, bro. It was just people. It was the same way it was in Israel, the same way it was over here. It was certain people.
So
they were white cannibals, bro. Just so I understand.
I wasn't even gonna say that.
I just need to know. Where would just
Hey, did they get along with the Giants?
Hey, see that? Start with a C. They were called the.
Hey, this can't be real. Who else on here?
Hey, did the natives get along with the Giants, land?
Y'all punking me.
It was. Guess what, bro? Prior to. Yeah, bro. It was some giants in the land. Nigga, no lie. Straight up.
Okay. Hey, no. Can you just tell me?
That's not a part. That's not a part of this. They're being wiped out by this time. They're being warred against and wiped out with the Aztecs and the Mayans already destroying them.
Was they fighting on the same side, or they was going at each other?
Well, I do know that the Northern Kingdom, if this is true, if the Mayans and the other ones, the Aztecs, are the Northern Kingdom, and it correlates to what the Mormons were saying and some other stuff that I read, then yes.
What nationality was the Giants?
I can't tell you a nationality, but some of them had dark skin and some of them had white skin.
Would it be appropriate to call them black and white?
I mean, when the Indians said that they had white skin.
Yeah, white Negroes. That's right.
They were great. They were tall. They had some of them had red hair, some of them had blonde hair, some of them had black hair. And they was having sex with each other.
Now hold on, real quick. I'm gonna rewind to something you said prior to this trade route about these Huguenots and these 300,000 people who were expelled, etc. And them having established trade routes with their relatives and whatnot, right? Some of which being in South Carolina.
Yeah,
what can you say to Susan? What can you tell me?
Download the book Pirates of the Caribbean right now.
Come on, we can't keep running to the same book.
Okay. I already have them. Can you give me a different book? Can you give me a secondary?
You can go to the Huguenot Connection.
And it's going to break down a trade route in the 1540s.
So yeah, it's going to break down a lot of. Not in the 1540s, bro.
So when? Because I swear you said 1542.
No, he said 1547.
Hold on. Let me just say this.
So when was the trade route set up in South
Carolina? I'm sorry. Let me correct myself.
I appreciate you.
Correct myself. The French Revolution was around that time. They didn't really get a place to go until 16. 16.
Yeah.
What the?
1745 or something like that. I mean, Google it, bro. Why y'all?
It was after America.
You talking about the French and Indian Wars? Hold on. What's
The French Revolution was after America was like literally you had people from America over in France helping to do it.
Like, do you realize the French Revolution is like 1790 or something like this, right?
Shit.
Hold on, let me get my mind. I told y'all, nigga, I'm smoking.
Yo, this is what I keep telling y'all. Y'all keep conflating. Terrence tried to tell y'all this earlier. Y'all keep conflating historical timelines. It's killing you.
Yeah, Terrence is that one on that.
That's what's killing you, bro. That's what's gonna hurt Madonna, bro. I'm telling you.
My timeline is tight.
Yeah, I know, bro. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not Lance. I know you want Earth. You know the worst part is. You know the worst part is Lance. The worst part is once Lance get over his desire to have to prove all of his other information, he's gonna actually be a pretty good debater. You just trash, bro.
Okay, here we go.
Not till like season 7.
Oh, he says
Almost done.
Season 5
in the 16th and 17th centuries.
Say that one more time, man.
Okay, it says Huguenots were French Protestants in the 16th and 17th centuries who followed the teachings of theologian Calvin. Persecuted by French Catholic government during a violent period, Huguenots fled the country in the 17th century, creating Huguenot settlements all over Europe and the United States and Africa.
So that's 1600s, just so you know.
It says French Calvinists adopted Huguenot name.
Whoa, I want you to understand this. 17th century is when they started setting up those colonies. That's in the 1600s.
So I need you to also understand that there's nothing to establish a trade route with Ephraim and Manasseh who are already here.
I forgot about that part.
Okay, hold on. What was it?
Just so we understand, we never cleared this up.
Here we go.
Right?
Bartholomew's Day Massacre. St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre in 1572.
Okay.
It involved murders of up to 70,000 Huguenots across France under the direction of Catherine de Medici, the Reggie, the mother of King Charles. Of King Charles the mother of King Charles the 9th.
Man.
During the 3 days spread from the town officials recruited Catholic citizens into militia groups that hunted Huguenot citizens, indulging not only in murder but gruesome torture, mutilation, desecration of the dead. Violence and murder followed in 12 cities over 2 months period after the St. Bartholomew massacre, leading the first wave of Huguenot departures from France to England, Germany, and the Netherlands. The Edict of Nantes. Violence such as the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre became a norm as civilian bloodshed and
real quick, can you do me a favor and hit and Control F and type Ephraim right quick?
This is not about Ephraim.
Hey, you know that sound mean? I just want to tell you that sound mean niggas not good.
I already told you I don't study. I'm not dealing with Ephraim right now. I'm dealing with North America and how it correlates to where we are at.
Hold on, but you literally told me anonymous that these Huguenots had established trade routes for people in South Carolina. Those people were their relatives who were here prior to.
It was in Virginia. The people that landed in Virginia had already established trade with those Indians that I consider to be Ephraim and Manasseh. Based on I don't agree with that because I'm not finished with that.
Okay, so just to be clear, you're saying you have nothing to substantiate the Huguenots establishing a trade route to South Carolina with Ephraim and Manasseh.
Nothing at all. I don't have anything.
Appreciate it.
But you have a clear agenda of tying that together somehow, some way, despite all the lack of evidence. Hold on, all of the research you did. Hold on, bro. All the research you did, you haven't found one bit of evidence, but yet You ignore all the evidence contrary to that. What is that called?
Actually, there's plenty of evidence establishing.
Really?
Confirmation bias.
Yeah,
Okay, I
I just,
appreciate
I mean, that's what I'm
that.
talking about. Why we can't just accept that? I said I have information. You want me
Okay.
to talk about something that I am not well versed in, so you
Bro,
can
that's
prove
not
it.
that's
Okay.
not what
Okay.
just happened. That is
Let's
not
deal
what
with
just
what I'm
happened,
well
bro.
versed in.
That's not what just
Okay.
happened.
Let's go.
That's not what just
Right.
happened.
So debunk what I'm talking.
Specifically, what are you well versed in? So I understand.
So what I am well versed with my situation
My
is
imagination.
proving that the people who were exiled out of Spain are Jews. Then prove that those Jews were people of color that contributed to the people that are known as the black race
Life,
in America.
man. If I go to hell for
No,
you,
wait. Hold on. I want to get this last part. Hold on.
And in the North Africa, and I mean, that's where I'm at
Okay,
with it.
bet. So here's what I'm saying, brother. All of that could be true, and the slave trade still happens. You understand that, right?
Slave trade ain't my argument.
man, if I go to
No,
hell
but
for laughing at you and
hold
you
on.
special needs,
Okay. Can we address this Huguenot situation a little bit more real quick?
What would you like to get
Where did they first touch down at in North America?
into?
Hey, the Taz or Yara teach you about John.
So some went to Virginia, and some went to South Carolina, and some went to Louisiana. This was a simultaneous thing. I mean, this was
What about some that went to New York? Did any go to New York?
yeah, plenty. A whole bunch went to New York, but that wasn't you said where did they first go to?
Okay, so the first place that they touched down in is in South Carolina, Louisiana, Virginia. Do you know what time period that is?
Well, like I said, around we have to say it says it 16th century. That's the beginning.
No, that's not what it said.
That's the beginning of the migration. 16th.
This is what you said. No, this is what I'm not talking about. This is what you read. You read that they started
Louisiana in the 16th century.
Yeah, right, exactly. What you said was they came to the Americas in the 17th century. This is why I'm asking you this.
That's what I read. Huguenots were
Okay.
Yeah, you literally read that thing.
No, watch. Read it again, bro. Read it again.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying.
But what he just said, listen, Madon, what he just said was they came to North America in the 16th century, is what he just said.
Which would be the 1500s.
Which would be the 1500s. That's not happening. Go ahead and read
you said that's not happening.
And
go ahead and read it for
not
me, bro.
No damn Louisiana.
Bro.
Go ahead and read it for me, brother, please. I'm gonna show you what you just read.
Let me tell you how deep.
No, bro, please read it. All you gotta do is read it real quick, bro, please.
It's a whole what part you want me to read?
The part where you was reading where they migration first starts happening. It talks about they leave and they go to all these places in the 16th and the 17th century. What you just read.
In 1675 and 1690, from 150,000 to 200,000 Huguenots fled their native France to escape Louis the Fourth's final attempt to extirpate Protestantism from his land. These refugees initially settled in the nearest Protestant sanctuaries available to them, namely Geneva, Brandenburg, Hesse, the Netherlands, and England, but also prospect them for returning. But as prospect them for returning to France, many sought new homes for permanent exile. These second migrations took Huguenot refugees far from their native France and Europe to places as remote as South Africa, Russia, and South Carolina.
What year was that, brother?
In between 1675 and 1690.
Now, not 15.
Hold on. This is this is a whole nother.
Okay, I got you. My fault.
Right. So I bring it.
Hold on. What more?
I'm bringing it closer. This is a whole nother
nervous, bro. It was actually the purpose of custody. Anonymous was actually 1562 when the Huguenots got over here, brother.
This was the second migration. It said these second migrations took the
Huguenot refugees. Show me the first.
in the 1500s, bro.
What do we have that's saying 1562? Where you get that from?
That's the second colony. When you look up under the command of John Ribault, Ribault. 1560. Yeah, he reached the coast of Florida. It says here he reached the coast of Florida. Named the River of May, now called St. River. The Huguenots landed near what is now Port Royal City, South Carolina, where they built a fort and called it Charles Fort in honor of Charles, the King of France.
No, listen to me, bro. Hold on.
What year?
1562. This from the book that I'm gonna keep.
Hold on, but they didn't build that.
No, watch this. Hold on. Wait a minute. Everybody relax. Relax. Where's Louisiana at?
Man, I was just about to ask.
It was named
Because
Rome at that time.
I never mentioned Louisiana.
It's
Oh, no,
more
he
information,
did.
bro. This is where they first went to. This is where they first went to, bro. Why you think it's a such thing as fucking, bro? So the French never went to Louisiana.
Imagine that laugh.
Why you? That's not what we said.
They never said that,
Bro,
bro.
how did the French end up in Louisiana?
How?
Listen.
In 1562, how did they end up in Louisiana?
I didn't say that.
Yes, that's what you said, bro. Now watch
this is what I'm talking about. This is what I said. When you question me off of memory, there are going to be some issue.
So okay, then that's why.
All right. So I said you should let me open up the book to show you.
Bro, you don't gotta yell and scream, fam.
Right. So how you gonna question about the material I'm giving you?
If you want more information, I'm gonna give your name.
Listen. Hold on. Wait a minute, bro. This is a Gist Gallup technique, right? That's not gonna work here. Right? Fall back. Listen. I want your information to come out, but I want you to know your information. You told us that they got there at 1547. Then now we get into 1562. And then now earlier you told us it wasn't just South Carolina.
If I can show you where the French came there.
Oh my God, bro. All you gotta do is allow me. All you gotta do is let me finish, bro. Then you tell me that it's Louisiana and it's Virginia as well, right?
It is.
And then you go as far as to say that they weren't participating in the slave trade when I can clearly show you that the Huguenots participated in slavery. And I'm gonna show you.
I always said that.
Now watch this. I'm gonna show you. Now look.
But you just said no. You just profited from us slavery that victimized others.
You told us that they did not profit or part.
That's why I step up, bro.
More. Hold on. More. Didn't he just say that they didn't? Didn't he just say that they didn't buy no slaves?
I can't recall honestly.
Okay. Wait. So let's have fun.
That was the Gist Gallup. You feel me? Like,
hold on, listen, let's have fun, man.
What up, bro?
Let's have fun. Hold on, let's have fun.
Hold on. Look up Admiral.
No, stop.
Look up Admiral Kalingi. Look up Admiral.
Look them all up. That's right. Look up all of them. So Coligny. So then, when do they start purchasing? When do they start purchasing slaves?
Oh, what?
When do they start purchasing slaves?
Shortly after they get there. It was already going on.
So they did participate in the transatlantic slave trade.
It's not a transatlantic slave trade. Told you once before.
Where did they buy these slaves from?
From motherfuckers that was they hookup, they friend, they people. England.
Where was England getting their slaves from?
They was getting them from the wars that the Jacobites they were getting them from POWs.
So they're purchasing POWs from the Jacobite war.
Nobody purchases POWs.
No. How are they getting the slaves then, sir?
They're not slaves. You keep saying slaves.
Hold on, you just said they were slaves.
You just said if you read the story of Calafia, they wrote on the backs of griffins.
You keep pigeonholing me into that conversation in that language.
No, bro. You just said that they profited off of slavery. That's what you read. I'm not pigeonholing you anything. You read that they profited off of slavery. So I asked you.
Yes.
Hold on. Stop. Right. So
Hold on. Let me show you who.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Oh, it's Lance. Lance, look up Admiral Kalindi, man. You'll see where he's been out. Well, I got a real question. Hey, Lance, everybody you did a crime with in jail. Admiral Kalindi. Lance, listen. Admiral Kalindi told Coligny. Admiral Kalindi. Or Caligny, however you want to pronounce it. Coligny. Hey, Liz, what did you tell everybody when they let you out and everybody else had to do a bid? What was your excuse? I'm curious. You just talking to death?
You talking about, bro?
I'm saying.
You talking about this white man? You talking about this white man, Madonna?
You think he white?
Well, they gonna probably say white, but he's about the Huguenots when they went to South America.
No, we're not talking about South America, bro. We're talking about.
We're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. It's a gift scalloping.
It was 3 attempts. I told you, bro.
Stop gift scalloping, bro.
Stop gift scalloping, bro. I got the book in front of me.
Hold on, hey, Madonna.
Yo.
None of that is material to the conversation, bro. You can show me
about the Huguenots.
Listen, bro. You can show me a million admirals that are Huguenots right now. I'm asking this brother now. When he read that they profited off of slavery, then why is he saying that they did not participate in slavery? Mind your damn business or answer the question.
Slavery, again, I don't subscribe to your idea of slavery. Here we go with it's the same conversation of black and black.
Okay. But what did they profit off of though?
They profited off of the criminal.
The screen says profited from a slavery that victimized us.
Yes. At the time,
So who was being enslaved from where?
And how are they profiting if there's no money being exchanged?
In England, they're reducing their population at this time by expelling those that are trying to go against the king. At this time, the king has not lost.
Can you get to England to America without crossing the Atlantic?
Hold on, bro.
Hold on, fucking nothing.
I'm answering the question.
Can you? Yes, you are. I'm asking another one. You're about to answer. Can you get to England?
I ain't answering that question
without crossing the Atlantic Ocean. Can you get to England to America without crossing the Atlantic Ocean?
I don't want any discourse any longer with your ass.
So the answer to that is no. The answer to that is no.
So you agree there's a transatlantic slave trade just from a different spot?
It's not a transatlantic slave trade.
Bet. So here's the problem. No, you don't want to discourse, so we don't discourse. You can't just keep talking. Yeah, what's up, bro? So you know what I'm saying more. This is the problem when you have an agenda, as Swap says. You have something that you want to prove, and then you run into that confirmation bias, right? That's why I told him I don't have to negate or argue with you about who the Huguenots are. They could be black, right? They could be the people that show up. But you know what happens? They profit off of slavery. You know why? Because anybody that ends up coming to those colonies that are in a position of control and start running plantations are profiting off of slavery. That's what we know. That's what the records show. That's what we prove. Even Madon is not retarded enough to say there is no slavery. He just disagrees with the numbers. Cool, bet we'll deal with that too.
Or from where? Yeah.
Right. But the problem comes. So if you want to say, okay, these are POWs or whatever. Now here's where you got to start to study culture now, and this is what separates England or the British once they start to colonize things. They don't have any concept of slavery. Like he keeps saying, they got this concept of indentured servitude. So that's what causes a problem because the North American slavery is different. Moore was just telling y'all how hard on the slaves the Caribbean slave trade is, especially when it comes to those sugar plantations. Right? Once you get to North America, these slaves are growing, they're having babies. So now they run into a dilemma. What do we do with the baby that exits the womb of a slave?
All right, man. Come on. I'm about to let
No, hold on, bro. Just let me finish. You get to go on for 15 to 20 minutes, and then you didn't want to talk anymore. Relax for a second, bro.
No, I'm not talking to you. If you
And allow me and more to finish talking, bro. You can't just, no, bro. You can't just keep dominating
He just said he don't want to discourse, right?
Right.
We're building
Right. So this is when we start to get into these, these slaves running away. They get caught. So then we start to move into these perpetual slave laws, right? And this is what you start to see enacted, especially by the British, right, or by England. Let me be very clear. So the problem becomes when we don't want to speak truth to what we clearly see because we have an agenda to prove. It makes the rest of your argument look foolish when we're trying to tell you, like, bro, there's some truth to your argument, some truth to it. But when you start to negate these people profiting off of you and you making everything look foolish. You got anything you want to say more?
Man, I'm gonna say this, right? Like, so, in dealing with the Exodus, something that I can definitely agree with Taz on, right, is the concept of people got lost the timelines and who was doing what when, right? Because there's a lot of people involved in Egypt at one point in time, where people can recognize how people are keeping track of time differently. When you're talking about anything having to do with this so-called transatlantic slave trade period, right, whether you agree if it happened or not, right, you got to recognize who was doing what when and what, like when I was talking about culture, understand that the British are moving different than the Dutch, are moving different than the French, are moving different than the Spanish, are moving different than the Portuguese, etc., etc., etc. And they're all in competition with each other. So there's a lot that can't be straight. And so now that's why the first thing you start asking is when, where, and who.
Answer this question right here, Orthodox. Shoot. Posed by this, look at the screen, if I'm sharing. Posed by this book written in, I think, 1901.
You want to direct me to the specific part of the book?
Sorry, 1871 to 1942.
I'm looking at 2 pages. You want me to read the whole thing, or you want to draw
you can't see it highlighted.
So now we just skipped ahead 200 years. I want to point this out.
Yeah, no, exactly
what we just talked about. Reference, hold on. 1871
exactly what we just talked about.
42. Here we have, it says, the so-called Homer question and the steam engines, between the discovery of America and the tendencies of philosophy, between the troubles which torment us in private life and the French Revolution, between the transatlantic immigration and the architecture of New York, there is a connection. What is the connection? You see that they say slave, it's a transatlantic immigration and the architecture of New York, the French Revolution, the steam engine. What is this? What is the common denominator in this question?
So first of all, why does that have anything to do with the slave trade? Second of all,
you said what? That's transatlantic immigration. What is that? You ever heard of that?
That would be European.
Europeans. The heavy influence of Europeans and other ethnic groups into the Americas.
Now, I gave you these other ethnic groups into the Americas. Now, why would the author pose a question with all of these in one phrase, one excerpt? Because these people that are involved with the French Revolution, the steam engine, look where the steam engine comes from. The New York architecture. It says, for the last 4 centuries, little by little, almost imperfect.
What was New York called before it was called?
First, then with a speed which increased gradually upon the French Revolution, finally, a headlong speed into the revolution to present day. The people who have, here's another one. This is very important. It says,
and I don't want to cut you, brother. I just want to understand what you're proving to us right now.
Yeah, I'm really expecting this to
prove. Hold on, let me prove it then. I'm on the way.
What's the premise that you're proving?
You tell me the premise first, bro.
The premise is that these French Huguenots are the ones that started everything.
Oh my God, bro.
These French Huguenots are the Sephardi Jews in the
Okay.
So who is postulating that there's a transatlantic slave trade for France?
The French Revolution. No, it's nobody's translating it.
Nobody's postulating that. So why are you proposing the solution to the problem that's not existing?
Is the immigration from the French. These people are the ones who actually started.
Plantations were established?
No, that's when the book was written.
No,
or not the book written, but the time period that is covering the book.
yes.
Right. So that's why I'm telling you, if 1871 to 1942 is a time period that you're talking about.
Right there. Hey, read that paragraph right there. From the French Revolution onward. Just read that for me right quick.
Between the transatlantic immigration
go down.
New York.
Go down.
Headlong.
The next paragraph. From the French Revolution onwards, comma, throughout.
Okay, good. That's what I was trying to read. From the French Revolution onwards, throughout Europe, throughout America, the political parties, the social classes, and the institutions and the philosophical doctrines which supported the principle of authority, little by little, but everywhere and unintermittently, have given way before the onslaught of the parties, the classes, and the doctrines.
Oh no! Pause real quick. So again, just for clarity's sake, when it's saying from the French Revolution onwards,
right,
what time period is that?
Whenever the French Revolution was.
So when was the French Revolution, brother?
Do you have the answer?
If you don't, then what you're reading is asinine.
It's not asinine, okay? Because this is important.
If you have, then you have no frame of reference for what you're reading.
The former.
Okay, now we're gonna do it like this.
Listen, what I'm trying to get to. The former.
You're not getting into nothing, bro, because you don't even know what you're talking about.
The right, because I'm about to show you that they left the old world to free.
You are lost in a clock with no hands on it, bro. You have no frame of reference for time and what you're talking about. None whatsoever.
I totally do.
And tell me, when was the French Revolution?
I'm not about to. If you know the answer, you're not my fucking teacher. You're not no fucking professor.
No, because I would have flunked your
answer. You're not to quiz me, nigga. If you got the answer, live with it. I got the answer. Okay? Anyway, moving on.
Contemporary with the first census of the United States of America. Do you know when that was?
1890. Now continuing.
1890.
You said 1890?
Damn.
First census of the United States of America.
No, of Japan, motherfucker.
1890, in your opinion, is the first census.
Okay, I could be wrong. Anyway, moving forward. They left. They left.
On behalf of the whole league, I appreciate you for all the points you're about to give up next season.
Right. Hey, Swap. You gotta stop this, bro.
I will stop the shit because this is going to help.
Facts.
Yeah, give it to Madonna, bro. Thank you. Give it to Madonna.
Starting to rev the F up.
I mean, this is when it goes into high
overdrive, fam. This is when they're designing these ships to be built differently to handle the different loads. Anyway, proceed. My fault. I'm chill.
So, do the Huguenots? What does it mean at that period of time to profit off of slavery, Madonna?
I'm not sure what Lance is talking about when he say that.
Lance read
because from my understanding, in the late 1500s, when the Huguenots was trying to establish colonies on the East Coast and like down, like they established Fort Caroline. Then we understand they went into Florida, and they was getting attacked by the Spaniards. And we know that these Huguenots was getting friendly with the natives that was there and stuff at the same time. So how they benefited off slavery, I'm not sure. I just know that part of
No, I didn't say how.
I said, what does it
or
mean?
how they benefited off
I
slavery.
said, well, I didn't say how. I said, what does it mean to profit off of slavery during the time of the height of chattel slavery in North America?
And for what Jay was doing, I don't know what Lance is talking about. I'm not sure.
No, I didn't ask you what Lance is talking, bro. Stop.
That's who's making an argument. What are you talking about?
Now let's remove the Huguenots. All right, let's remove the Huguenots. Let's remove any bias or anybody that you're trying to protect. Let's remove Lance. Okay. If I come to you and say, Madon, there's a group of people that we know and they profited off of slavery in 1780 in North America. What does that mean?
That could mean a number of things. Some people could have profited off of slavery just by watching two other nations go to war and they established colonies.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
I'm just saying, bro. You asked me what we talk, bro. Stop. Wait a minute. See what I mean?
Stop
playing,
I cut you. Stop
you
playing.
You want to cut me off?
No, it's not cut. It's you bullshit.
You asked me what, bro. You asked me what I could.
I asked you about a group of people that are in North America, not established in no colony, that are in North America and they profiting off of slavery. So you're telling me then that this doesn't mean that they're participating in buying and selling slaves. That could just mean that they starting colonies and all of this, right?
Right. While other nations are at war, they could be establishing colonies and different trade routes.
Trade routes for what?
To trade spices and different goods.
So what does any of that got to do with slavery then?
Because you're benefiting while other people are at war, you're able to just deliver your goods.
Hold on, whoa.
And all kind of shit like that. You asked me what I think. I'm telling you what I think.
I'm asking you, what does any of this got to do with slavery? You telling me about
because
war?
You asked me how if somebody say they
could be benefiting,
they could be benefiting. They could be benefiting while two other nations are warring. They could be benefiting off slavery by two other nations fighting with slaves. They could be handling their business, trading their spices, and making their money while these two fools over here fighting each other.
Great. That's the point. So while two nations are fighting over slaves, that's the point that I'm making, right? The point that I'm trying to get to, that everybody keep dancing around, is this brother keeps saying that there was no slave trade. So no matter how you slice it, even if you're saying that they didn't directly trade slaves, then they're profiting off of other people who are buying and selling and trading slaves. So that means that there is a transatlantic slave trade.
So, the transatlantic trade, then a lot of times with just people delivering spices and goods. A lot of times they didn't have slaves.
I didn't say the transatlantic trade. I said the transatlantic slave trade. There's a difference, brother.
So yeah, Madon, you're not denying that happened. You're just saying that like 40,000 people made it on that slave trade. Lance is saying it didn't happen.
I'm saying less than 100,000.
Right.
Okay,
right.
cool. You bet. Right. But the point is you're saying that it happened. It's just with fewer numbers. Lance is saying it didn't happen. Period.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah. I agree that it definitely happened without a shadow of a doubt. But what I'm saying is a lot of the story has been conflated, it's been twisted and suppressed. And we have books and we have primary resources that's available to us that proves this is not no longer a theory. A lot of this stuff is factual, you know.
So you and I will both agree that there were like an Afro-Asiatic native population in America, right?
Yeah. And I got primary showing that it was millions.
Cool. So how old is that population in your estimation?
Oh man, I would have to say thousands of years.
Like roughly, we're talking more than 10,000.
I could say more or less, yes.
Hell no, no more than
that. I can see how that's possible. 10,000, yes.
In your paradigm, how did they get here? Did they come from Africa?
When was your first person that you asked them that it was Africans here?
Afro-Asiatic people. Hold on, trying to narrow this one in right.
Yeah. I got you. All right.
So, how did they get here, or were they always here?
That's the big, that's the big question. I give you my theory of thought. This is my own personal one.
You got it.
My own personal thought. I think, a lot of them came over during the Tower of Babel. I think some of them came over during the fall of Jerusalem.
Okay.
And I think some of them was coming over just through the Oceanic Highway, which I think in ancient time was really popping more than they show us it was.
So
it was just going to and fro from different lands before the Portuguese knew anything about the New World, or what they call the New World.
Now, on a genetic level, the vast majority of brothers I run into have sub-Saharan West African genetics. If the native Afro-Asiatic population was that old and it was here, they would have a different set of genetics in some way, shape, or form.
They're testing the natives as they're not.
I understand what you're saying, but
so Madonna wouldn't be like, let's say Madonna takes a DNA test, right? He wouldn't be E1B1A like that, or if he was, he'd be a whole different class of it than someone who's from West Africa, right? And for me, like, I'm not E1B1A at all, right? Like, so this is the cool part. Like, so I share DNA. My genetics is I'm EM132. I share genetics with people who are in West Africa, people who are in East Africa, and some people in North Africa, right? My mother has Native American genetics. I actually have a Native American mitochondrial DNA marker, right? A2G, right? That's a Native American marker, right? My father has a African mitochondrial marker, right? It's an L2 marker. His Y DNA and his mitochondrial DNA is not found in the Americas like that. Like the other Native American populations or whatnot, right? And not only that, it's not even it's older than the split between like E1B1A and E1B1B. His Y DNA, right? So how did I get that in the Americas?
Well, this is I will tell you how I would think you got it. That's why I think under 100,000. So in my estimation, I look at it like this. Just say 30,000 reach the shores of America, right?
Okay.
So you got 30,000 that reach the shores of America.
Mm-hmm.
And we have shown through early colonial history that they came over here with like 500. And by, I think, 100 years, the population was 50,000. And so I think if you bring 30,000 slaves over in 100 years, that population could be 90,000, 100,000 more.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Through growth and development, And I think that's how a lot of us maybe got that DNA. I mean, I can see how that's possible.
Oh, okay. So how I got my DNA, or how most of y'all got E1B1A?
No, I think how just like how a lot of people may have gotten that. That's just me. I don't know. I'm just saying that's how I think that could be possible, that a lot of people have that DNA within them.
Okay. So I can hear what you're saying on certain when you're saying certain populations came over from the Middle East and all them kind of things, because we got people like you can got like R1B and all them kind of things, right? Like that could be consistent with that if he's descended from native people from here who came from over there, etc. Whatnot. But yeah, them pictures right there, like the Arawakan people. I love them pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Did you share it or what?
No, that's not me.
Me, emblem of Africa, emblem of America. Who is these motherfuckers?
The Arawakan people.
This is America.
Right.
Wait a minute. So this is what we're doing. We're doing the liquor shit.
Hold on. You know what this is, bro.
A lot of those are from New Amsterdam, which would be like New York, the Hudson area.
What time period?
1500s, 1400s, man. Late 1400s, 1500s, 1600s.
More. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like,
It's not even possible for it to be 1400s.
It's 17. Well, this is
1790 is what that says. September 4th.
Oh, so for you, so for you, that picture that you see there with those, we'll just be nice right now and say those are natives.
Right.
That's emblematic of who these people were in 1798.
Yes.
Do you see how those people are dressed, bro?
This is how
1798, man.
You telling me that you telling me that
this is emblematic.
You telling me that this is how
new people they see a new people and a more advanced people.
Please tell me you don't have children, Lance.
This is fucking horrible, bro.
I mean, how? That's how some of them dress.
Okay, but
hold on. So you got a problem with that, but you don't got a problem with this at this time period right here. Hold on. Let's see what this time period is. Because
I don't got a problem with either one of them, brother. I got a problem with you saying that that's
1798. Same picture, same year.
That's in Africa.
Bro, what do you think they... All right. So, this is an issue. This is an issue.
It's not an issue. It's your interpretation of it. That's the issue.
No, it's about what they seen, bro. I told you, bro.
So when they say emblem of...
So what is this?
I don't know, brother. What is it?
Is that? Is that a turban? Or is that?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what you saying.
Look at the curly hair. Hold on.
He won't say what you saying because he don't know what it says.
Hold on.
I just came back in, man. I'm just trying to.
Why you got a picture of Kansu?
Because I had
a beam on his ass.
That's a beam.
Hey, Kansu, you might have to get a restraining order. All right?
This nigga Lance is out of control, bro.
I was 500 feet away.
Hey, hold on, bro. No, go back. Hey, stick with your point, bro. I want you to
go
explain.
Back. Hold on, who was that dude? Go back, Lance.
Explain to us what point you're trying to make, bro.
On you, who was
right there. Hold on, go back. You went too far. The dark skinned dude, right there. Yeah, who is that?
Andrea Brustolin from Italy, 1590.
When he went over to Italy, was he from Americas?
I forgot why I did it. It's in another portion of my. Well, every number I got piece of.
I was trying to figure out where he's from.
I'm trying to figure out what.
That's just a European paint. That's just European artwork.
So with that emblem of America, this is what I understand. You trying to say that was in 1798? That's emblematic of natives that are in the land, and there. So that negates the transatlantic slave trade.
No,
it is.
No, bro. Please answer that question. No, relax. Come on, bro. I'm trying to understand the question now, bro.
What did you say?
I'm trying to understand.
I thought I explained it. That those was the representative.
No, you didn't.
That bullshit slide right there. Well, come on, man. This 1798 shit. Why are you using them fucking European paintings, bro? Man, that motherfucker got cherubims in it.
He painted these. Who you think? Who got painted this etching? This is actual Minolean etching. Who do you think painted this?
I'm trying to figure out what your overall point is. I don't care who painted it. I'm trying to figure out what.
That's three people asking for your premise now, man.
Bro, what's your point?
We got tobacco. Whatchamacallit that depicts.
Yeah, it's the same shit you brought up against Sinyame, bro. That's not going to help.
That was factual. What you mean?
Answer. Okay, what's factual, bro? What's factual?
Those tobacco reliefs are real.
Nobody's saying they not. What the fuck is wrong? Y'all
And it was depicting a lot of the native tribes that was Americans. That's all I'm saying.
And when have you ever heard anybody on here say that there were no native tribes in America?
No, that's not my point, man.
No, here's the point. You're jumping from
what Lance is showing.
Hey, deal with that orthodox. This piece right here. Go ahead.
No, don't deal with that. Answer the bro. Just tell us what your premise is.
This is motherfucking Jews being put.
How do you get to keep getting away with this bullshit?
Because we ain't got a pocket.
No, I'm showing you these people, bro.
Nigga, answer the question, bro. What's your premise, bro? What was the purpose of showing them pictures?
I already told you, nigga, that was the representation of the American Indian.
No, fuck no.
No, it wasn't.
That's what I was waiting for you to say. You're out of here.
It was. That's why it's called Emblem of America.
Yeah, those were dark-skinned natives.
You don't know what you're talking about. Bro,
they were fucking Moors.
Who do you
Moors and the Brits represented them as Moors.
So who do you think the Moors are?
Who do you think the Moors are?
I know who they are.
Right. So I don't know who you think they are in reference to this. As far as America goes, they're nothing. The only reason why that was painted like that because in 1798, the British still had some control over American colonies. And if you look at the War of 1812, that's why that ended up happening. So the British didn't respect America as being what it was.
Who was it?
I don't know why. What is this picture supposed to be representative of? What I'm asking you. It doesn't represent anything.
It absolutely does. It lets you know who they seen, who they were dealing with.
Exactly.
It lets you know who they were dealing with.
No, it's an allegorical picture. What are you talking about?
Why would they? All right, brother. Why would they make them Negro fucking allegory then?
So who's the real person, bro?
Chill out, man.
Who's the person?
Dead already. I don't gotta even.
Hey, why would they make an allegorical picture? Did he just ask why would they make an allegorical picture?
Why would they make them Negroes?
Yeah, that's not the only one. That's hundreds.
That's just one example.
It's a
hundreds of those.
Moors are on the record for not only being in America but also fighting in wars around the same time frame.
Right. So
this is the time when they were
now what you have done.
Man, Chaz?
Hey, right. So now you have agreed with me, my brother.
Agree with you on what?
Because the Moors are Sephardi Jews. That was not the same.
I don't. How the hell did he agree with that?
Hold on, what?
How the fuck did he agree with that?
Jump up like Swamp said and just lay yourself down.
Hey, y'all niggas is retard.
Damn!
This is the worst shit I've ever heard.
Hey, that nigga walked into the Jason, bro. That motherfucker running around the corner.
Wait. So Moors are Sephardi Jews and also the true Native American.
Yes.
But I thought they were the
network.
Huguenots.
They were no. That's why the Huguenots was able to network so quickly, bro. They were related.
And so
Indian alliances, bro. I told you some of the
Indian. When we talking about that picture, what are we talking about? We talking about you saying they did that as a dedication to the natives? What is that picture supposed to represent?
Who they were dealing with, bro. Who was in the land?
But that's not who they were dealing with.
Who were they dealing with?
Who was the British dealing with?
Yeah.
They were dealing with the newly established American government.
And who established that?
What?
No. Hold on. But before that, Lance, so if the Moors were the Native Americans and also related to the Huguenots, right?
See,
why didn't they stop in any way? Why didn't they do anything to stop the Spaniards from enslaving their people?
Hey, why is y'all fighting over Lance though? Check this out, Lance. Don't battle nobody in the top 10.
That was a legit question, T-Duck. That was a legit question, T-Duck.
It should enlighten them just a little bit, bro. They
trying to get in on that fire that's going on. There's some fire going back and forth.
Hey, we have all the fire on the 8th. You know what I'm saying? That was a legit question, Lance.
Some of this history, man. Talking about what you actually know here.
I need an answer to that question. Somebody.
What did you say?
What did you ask?
Well, I think they were trying. We have evidence showing after they built Fort Caroline, the Spaniards came in and attacked them. So they was trying to defend a lot of stuff against the Spaniards, but the Spaniards was some mighty fighters, man.
The Spaniards
Got you.
had,
No, got you. But I got legitimate correspondence between the actual Moors and, for instance, the English, to where like they were about to actually jump on English ships and go down to the Caribbean and just beat up on the Spanish right quick, right? How come the French? How come the French? There's no history of the French doing anything similar like that with the Moors.
I think because a lot of the French history got pushed out. When we read, because I was reading, when we read about Fort Caroline, and then after they went to Fort Caroline, they tried to set up some in Florida. They kept continuing to get attacked by the Spaniards, and the native, what they call the dark natives, tried to help them. But other than that, and I think because
what year is this, Madame?
England, this was like in the late 1500s. And England became so powerful that they both, French pretty much got pushed out and had to start sell territories and stuff like that. From what my understanding.
In what year?
1500s and so on. They pretty much got pushed out of history.
No. But if the Huguenots, right? If you got
the Huguenots are not a race, bro. They just agreement of people that agreed to keep the law. And that was just a code name for them, like the German Palatines.
Right. So you got white Huguenots, black Huguenots, all type of different people. Right?
You got the white. They wasn't white yet. So that's a new thing. That when they stopped us from mixing. Okay, the so-called white Huguenots were converts. In order for
that's fine, bro. Yeah. We still got them though, right?
Yeah, we do have them, but they end up us receiving.
Right. So hey, look, this is the only point. Look. I'm not going to do all this extra shit until we decide on what extra debates we're going to have, right? The issue now starts to come into your inability, both of you, to show how any of this, and I'm keep saying it, negates the slave trade. Like that's
I was just telling more like, I think it's more, you can look up the Massacre of the French.
They brought all the
dude named Dominique de Gorgeous is how you spell his name. But it tells us about these different events of the French Huguenots trying to fight off the Spaniards, but Spaniards were some bad motherfuckers.
Well, the Spaniards had some Jews, some of our people with them, because they were converted to Catholicism and fought in the armies.
So
some of them stayed.
What time period is that you're talking about?
Just from 1492 on. Some of them stayed.
The time period I'm talking about is
I mean, you understand
the 1565 around like
you understand
1503 was the last expulsion, and some of them were still there.
You understand like the Portuguese were coming to the west coast of Africa, taking people like as early as like 1450, 1460.
Hold on, bro.
Where were they taking them to?
Yeah,
back to Portugal. They was taking them back to Lisbon.
They took them to America.
So in the 1540.
I already showed you that. I showed you how.
No. In the 1540s, show me that, please.
The appropriation of the Sao Tome. Yeah, Sao Tome. That was it's called the. It says the Sao Tome. It says the 2000 and the appropriation of the American Negro. That's what it's called. It's called the 2000.
You gotta do better, man.
The 2000.
Not so Tom, nigga.
Sao Tome children and the African American appropriation. I gave it to A9. He know it. I don't know why.
Okay, so I
stop saying that I know this shit, bro, because I don't know what the fuck you trying to say.
A9, help me out. Did he show anywhere in that where, like, in the 1450s, there were people being...
They took people to America?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see any of that, bro.
You didn't? Hold on, let me show you. Well, hold on.
You just said the 1540s.
Hold on. Where's my piece?
So where they was taking them to Brazil in 1450? Look, where they taking them in 1450?
Them niggas didn't know how to get here in 14.
They barely had just got a map to.
Man, you crazy? They already knew where to go. I'm trying to tell you niggas.
Are you serious?
This is from the book The America.
Now I can somewhat understand what he's saying because he's trying to say that they're all Moors and shit, right? Like, so technically speaking, like if he's trying to say,
bro, I'm talking. Look, he knows exactly. I'm talking about these goddamn. I'm talking about goddamn Portuguese that's running around here shooting people and stealing motherfuckers.
I got you 100. I got you, Phil.
All right, now look at this.
They don't even know what I'm talking about.
Read that with your own eyes, bro.
I don't see 1450 anywhere in that.
No, hold on. Just read it, bro.
1450, bro.
We going before 1450 and talk about these motherfuckers that's in the west coast of Africa.
This motherfucker's a goddamn retard, bro.
Yeah, I bet I am.
Hold on.
You want to read it out loud, bro? We are entertaining.
Hold on. So they carried 200 or 300 Negroes in ships that couldn't hold them, right?
Several of them having 200 or 300 Negroes. Several of them having 200 or 300 Negroes that worked in the sugar mills. Who established the sugar mills first? Hold that. The John III, King of Portugal, sent the colony thither above 200 years before.
Hold that.
Whom, through the whole... Hold on.
I just need to know.
Oh God, because you're talking about
he sent new inhabitants
and gold
first settled in
at the same time.
Exactly.
This can't be before no 15th.
And that said king, so all those Jews for slaves that refused to embrace the Roman religion. Their children.
It's not even possible to be before 1450.
Bro, I'm showing you people that. All right.
No, wait, no, I'm not, bro. I'm not trying to be funny. Are you telling me that this happened before 14? This happened, but 200 years before 1450 is what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh my
holy shit!
I'm showing you these people that are in Angola are Jews. These people that are in St. Thomas are Jews. These people are in New Guinea are Jews, bro. No, so the said king, so all those Jews for slaves that refused the Roman religion and caused their children to be baptized.
But Don, I need to know right now. Are you backing this?
What?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to figure out what.
Did I write this?
If you're confused, I'll rock with that, bro.
I'm trying to make sure you're talking about. You're talking about this is going up the coast of Africa from Portugal down to Africa and back.
No, he's talking about the island of St. Thomas.
No, not just the island of St. Thomas.
Which is not Sao Tome, by the way.
Which is not Sao Tome.
Hold on. I didn't show the Sao Tome children yet.
Sao Tome.
But the Sao Tome Angolia, motherfucker. How about that?
Angolia.
How about that?
You just hold on.
How about that?
I forgot about Angolia.
So what year was this? How about this? You just basically told us that in 1250 AD that they was bringing slaves to what you call the Americas to St. Thomas Island in 1250.
Oh, they took them from Portugal
in 1250, right?
Listen, bro, look at the shit.
Oh,
this is a yes/no question. Now 1250, yes, no.
I'm not dealing with no dates. That ain't my issue.
Yeah, what year? I didn't know
the whole question slavery.
The whole question was talking about
that's in Angola.
The whole question was talking about
in St. Thomas. That slaves supposed to
land. What year was this, man?
Why don't y'all go find it? You want me to bring
it up? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, you might have to scroll up or something to find out what year this took place. That's all I'm saying.
You took a screenshot to just say what he wanted to say about Jews.
Yeah, you gotta put a century up in there or something.
Bro, I got a whole it's called America. It's called America, bro. Just read it.
No, I just know what century it was, man.
Hey, man, this is some bullshit, bro.
You know when Columbus went back in 1493, he took 2 natives back with him.
But I'm telling you, the Portuguese had already been doing this, taking them motherfuckers back to Portugal.
Hey, Suave, when I said that Lance could come back either broken or a beast, when I said he come back a beast, I'm taking it back. He come back a beast.
I gotta recant a whole bunch of shit.
Hold on,
Nigga,
how y'all mad
season
at
7.
hold on, how you
Nigga,
mad?
I'm not mad at the information, bro. I'm tired of you throwing shit up here and not being able to qualify it with dates.
That's 1460.
You gotta show that, bro.
They brought 200.
Hold on.
They brought 200. You said they brought 200 Negroes to St. Thomas in 14.
It says several. It says several.
How many ships was involved with this?
2 or 3. There were ships.
What year did
I'm saying how many ships was it, Lance?
I don't know. I wasn't interested in that, bro. It didn't say.
You have to be. Oh, so they will have one saying it was 200 and some on one ship when it could be divided.
It was several. It was several ships. It was a fleet, bro.
That's fine, bro. That's fine.
So was 25.
It was a fleet, bro.
Hold on, bro. So before Columbus, they were bringing slaves or Negroes to the Caribbeans.
The Portuguese, the Dutch, all of it.
It didn't even call them Negroes. It says the Portuguese were bringing Jews to the west coast of Africa.
Bring it back up. I'll read it for you. Bring it back up, Lance. I'll read it.
You said it didn't say Negroes. Right?
Oh, you said the west coast of Africa.
It showed no, that's not all he said. He said St. Thomas as well. And he actually called it the Americas.
No,
it might be more than one.
Oh, don't say no. That's what you said, bro.
No.
No, yes. Yeah,
the point of me showing you this was showing.
Hold on, ain't that what he said?
The point was me showing you this. Was
the article or whatever he pulled up had St. Thomas in it. I saw that. Now, was they talking about St. Thomas of Americas or
no? Lance said the Americas, bro.
Of Africa.
Lance took it down before
Lance said everything. Lance said the Americas.
Lance said the Americas,
bro. That you keep saying are Africans. I'm showing you the correlation to.
Nah, nigga, that's not what we was talking about.
I'm showing you that they came to Portugal and being placed there, and later being taken from there.
Hate on rapid fire round, dog.
Huh?
Lance, I'm just putting you on notes. You're gonna hate our rapid fire round, dog. Whatever we debate, bro. You did anyway. You not
whatever we debate.
Modern ass.
You gotta do better
about nothing, bro. All I gotta do is work on my debating skills with your ass. You don't have no information.
You say more ain't got no information? Well, okay.
You don't even know this shit.
Oh, shit. God damn.
Okay. All right.
I must have forgot. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, no, ain't nobody forgot. Lance never knew.
Whatever
more. He never knew.
Exactly.
You didn't know who was the Domo assassin? You didn't know that?
He never knew. He never knew.
I killed that nigga twice, bro. That shit ain't nothing.
You killed Domo twice, huh?
I killed that nigga twice.
Yeah, because you really killed him the other night, huh?
Yeah. But anyway, it says after Henry's decease in 1460, the business of navigation and discoveries of new countries lay neglected because
she's talking about Henry the Navigator, right?
Turmoil in a civil war. His crown being, huh?
Who you talking about?
Turmoil and civil war. Go ahead.
What the fuck?
Is this proven the 1460 date or no? Just so I'm clear.
What?
Like, I'm trying to understand, is this proving the 1460 date, or what are you doing with this right now?
You ask, yeah, I'm reading the whole thing from the whole thing so you can see what's going on. You don't want to know?
Trying to understand.
Who is King Alphonse? Who's King Alphonse? Portuguese king.
What did he do? What did he do?
I don't know what he did.
Oh no, nigga.
Oh man, what?
I'm afraid that I'm going to ask this question. Do you know when he was king?
Let Orthodox Moore answer the question.
Do you know when he was king?
What did he do, bro?
Do you know when he was king?
Yeah, I absolutely do know when he was king.
When was he king?
It's right here in my face, to be honest with you. Second of all, let's see if you know the answer. When was he king?
When was he king? Tell me.
Nah, how you gonna ask him right in front of my face? When was he king?
How you gonna ask him the same
Not
question?
1460.
When was he king, brother?
Not 1460.
Okay.
Okay, what?
When was he king? Answer the question, bro. It's right here in front of me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna pull it up. When was he king? How are you looking it up now?
So
just tell
I'm
us when he
gonna
dead, bro. Don't fuck with me, bro.
What year was he king?
So when I answer the
was
question,
king Orthodox?
so
How
when I
long?
answer, so
It's
when
two.
I answer,
It's two Alphonses. Which one are you talking about, first of all? But let's talk about the one we dealing with right
which
now.
one are you talking about?
I'm talking. It's two Alphonses. You didn't know that. I'm talking about the son of the Alphonse of. Come on, bro.
Okay, first of all, there's way more than two King Alphonse.
I was gonna say
This time period.
Like there's a retarded amount of King
cannot
Alphonse.
be at this time period.
Which
The five names son at this time period.
so you're gonna sit there and say, I know which King Alphonse I'm talking about and from what time?
I gave
I'm
you.
not gonna tell you.
I gave you 4260, bro.
Oh my god.
Bro, which Alphonse are you talking about, Lance? Come on, man.
Okay. That said king is John.
The fuck, bro?
John the second father, Alfonso. You know
when did he rule? When did he rule?
You know what I'm talking about now?
When did he rule, Lance?
Don't worry about it, nigga. You know who I'm talking about now.
You don't even know who you're talking about, there.
The whole information is sitting right in front of me. Right here.
Bro, all you gotta do
I'm testing you, motherfucker. You want to test me? Let's test you.
You don't think like anything sitting in front of you matters because like you could read like something happened during the French Revolution, but it doesn't matter that it happened during the French Revolution.
Because that's what you keep telling us.
Here, I'll show you this much right here.
Yo, this shit is horrible, man.
So Lynch, I want you to teach me, how did this King Alfonso have slaves in St. Thomas in 1460?
You already neglect the information I'm showing you.
No, bro, no, that's a real ass question. Bro.
Why would you further ask me questions?
You're on here telling us.
I can talk. I can show. Y'all ain't showing anything. Y'all haven't proven.
You're on here.
You haven't shown not one.
And then this is the same thing you always say once your information starts to get scrutinized. Bro.
It's not scrutinized. I mean, you can scrutinize. It's not my information. I didn't write it, bro. I'm just showing it.
What would you like for me to bring the information out on?
You're misinterpreting.
I'm not postulating anything. I'm answering what you're postulating. So if you want me to postulate something and bring out information, what would you like for me to postulate on?
Actually, I thought I finished smoking.
Oh, man. All right, man. Hey, I'm gonna jump off. I gotta get up for a couple hours. Hey, yeah.
I'm beating your ass for this one, bro. Bringing Lance in like this, bro. You got an L coming, Domo.
Domo,
you got an L for this one, bro.
Y'all want to go through the whole page?
No, I wasn't here. I took a season off to let y'all catch up, bro.
I get to the point, Lance.
I'm just. You said scroll up, nigga. I'm just showing you the page.
Well, we was trying to find a date. What they were saying that.
Okay, we got 1460, and it continues.
Oh
bro.
man, scrolling up don't even help you, bro. Because you got St. George. You got wow, okay.
Bro, then this means whatever you're showing up. You know what? I'm gonna shut up, bro.
What do it mean? What do it mean? Because here you got Portuguese making the same moves.
Look, this talking about going to Africa, ain't it?
That's right. Let's talk about it.
You said Americas, bro.
Yeah, you were saying. I thought we were talking about I thought you was talking about St. Thomas that was part of the island.
Is St. Thomas in America or Africa?
Man,
this stupid motherfucker. Bro.
I thought you were talking about St. Thomas.
Hey, look, and notice that it says, like I said, shipping their slaves for Lisbon. I just said this.
Where did they come from?
Nigga, from Africa, nigga.
And then
they came from Portugal.
Who put them there?
No, they came from Africa and went to Portugal, Madon. Like, so look, this is what
I thought he was saying right doing this. They was shipping them to Africa. I thought
no, that's not what's happening. No, this is not
what Lance was saying.
What's happening?
No, this is. I'm
saying they were shipping Jews.
Scroll back up.
I thought he was saying they were shipping Jews from Portugal to Africa.
That's right.
No, go back up and show what I was talking about.
Fuck what you was talking about.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
So,
damn.
like I said, and we got the book on this. We got the first-hand memoir accounts of this, right? About Guinea. Okay. And so we see these Portuguese coming down, fucking with the Moors, and then coming down off the coast of Mauritania. And so they end up snatching Africans and then taking them back up, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to build this map. And we do end up with a map in these 1450s, which shows that they trying to figure out how to come around Africa to get to Asia. That's what they're trying to do.
And why was they trying to get to Asia?
Nigga, who gives a fuck at this point?
What you mean? Why who gives a fuck?
Oh, wait, stop.
That whole spice trade you're talking about.
There you go. See, Lord just came right in and said what it was.
Fam. Hey, look, fam. Okay, great. Spice trade. But you're moving away. You're moving away from the point that I'm making as it pertains to this dude. And that goofy ass laugh is not gonna save, because the point that I'm making, the point that I'm making is the point that you seem to keep trying to get this nigga a pass on. This dude said that they went to the Americas. First, he said 200 years before 1460, and I ain't letting him get away from that.
No, I didn't give him a pass.
Right?
I was trying to figure out.
But regardless, even if you talk about
1250, that's crazy.
Right. But even if you talk about 1460, they not do. That's not how they maneuvering, bro. Like you just said, Madonna. What you said, Madonna? They trying to trade spices. Right.
Well, I mean, if he's saying they was going from Portugal down the coast of Africa, you know, 1400,
that's not what he said.
I agree with him.
That's not.
I think when he was thinking of St. Thomas, I think he misspoken.
Listen, I clearly said that, and clearly said that they took them slaves back to Lisbon.
Facts.
I clearly said this.
Right, but I'm just saying, I think when Lance saw St. Thomas, I think he got that confused with the St. Thomas that's in the Americas and not.
You know what else? No, I did not, bro. That's why I brought.
That's St. Thomas they're talking about right there.
Clearly said the America.
I'm going to say the Americas. I'm hearing him say the Americas. I think he got it confused.
You mentioned Africans from the west coast of Africa to America.
No, I didn't. I said to Portugal.
No, you didn't. Portugal wasn't even mentioned. I'm the one that mentioned Portugal.
Are you
said that they was taking slaves from the west coast of Africa to America. Did you not?
Do you hear us both saying that Anonymous said Portugal?
What?
Anonymous and I are both corroborating that he said Portugal.
I clearly said that before Columbus, because what you said was that they were navigating to the Americas. And I said, and we're pointing out to you that they're still trying to put together their complete map.
Hey, come on, man.
So by the time we get to 1450s, 1460s, they're running, like Madonna said, they're going up and down the coast of Africa, and they're getting slaves and taking them back to Lisbon.
Why would they?
What do you mean why? This is why
they took some of them. But
this is why they took them back. You ask why? I'll tell you why. Because they're trying to figure out what's going on with these cultures, and they're explorers. So in their mind, and this is from firsthand accounts, if they take what they thought was, at least if we go further down and we see Africa, then we have something to report when we come back, and it can get us some extra money. But what they found was when they got there was shit. We this close. Let's get off and start some shit with these motherfuckers. And so there was one time they wanted to jump off. The waters was all rocky and shit, and it was some niggas ready to beat their ass. But they was still ready because, like Madonna said, these damn Portuguese and these Spaniards are fighters. They still wanted to get off and get it done, but they couldn't because of the weather. Right? So what ends up happening then, they still move a little further down the coast. They start snatching people. Now, the reason they couldn't snatch certain places is because they had got into it with the Moors off the Iberian Peninsula, and the Moors start telling everybody, yo, these motherfuckers coming trying to take y'all. So what happens is they end up taking Africans back to Lisbon, bro. That's Portugal. The reason that Lisbon becomes particularly important because this is one of the major slave ports, one of the major cities that starts to profit from the transatlantic slave trade. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
I don't give a fuck what you.
Well, we do know that they was trying to set up shop, and set up Cape Cod and these kind of
right.
Things.
And so this is why by the time you get to the 1500s, they set up El Amina, right? So then they set up that slave port El Amina or Amina, and so that's where they start to store gold and slaves. That's probably your oldest surviving slave port on the West Coast.
Hey,
like this is
let me ask you something, bro.
Yeah, but it wasn't that big.
Amina is not that big.
The slave coast, it wasn't that big.
You say the slave coast goes from.
No, I'm talking about the post that they was set up. I'm talking about when they set up shop at and
you know when they first got started.
When they built different buildings and different.
Come on, Madame. We know that this thing lasts over hundreds of years, bro. Stop that.
Right, but what I'm saying is, it came to a point where they stopped shipping the slaves and just start enslaving the indigenous Africans because it was costing too much.
When did that happen, Madame?
You'll see May 9th.
Yeah, you're a liar.
I'm not a liar. What do you mean? Oh, I'm a liar. I'm lying.
Yeah, bro. That's a pure bold face lie. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you where y'all get in trouble, right?
Where am I getting in trouble?
I'm gonna tell you where you get in trouble because the later you get in history, the better they are at keeping records. And so when we start moving it, like I couldn't believe he did that with the French Revolution, bro. Like the later we get in time, like this. I'm through. I can't. Like this shit is crazy, bro. Like this is nuts. This shit crazy as shit. All because you want to have some business
documented. That's why.
Whoa.
Like everything I'm saying, I got out of a book where it was sourced by different historians and by different.
Does that book say that they could not and that they did not take and bring 300,000+ Africans directly to North America?
Yes.
It says they did not.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see that.
Yes.
Can't wait to see it.
I'm telling you, bro, like it's amazing. Like I was shocked when I saw it. I'm like, whoa, like this is the other side.
And it says those words.
These are the history books that been suppressed, and you have to find them on a whim, or just get lucky, or just have somebody introduce you to it. These are the books that were produced in the hundreds that was suppressed. You know, that's all it was. I just got lucky.
Don, who is this, bro? That's the nigga you mentioned.
The fuck this got to do with y'all? Y'all look at the videos.
Aaron Day Savoy.
You there, Moore?
Is he black? Is he a Moore?
Just remind me of Take Your Brain when Brain goes.
Hey, he look like he could be one of the Jackson 5 to me.
Look like it to me too, my nigga. Look like it to me too.
Or what's that nigga name? Metal World Peace with a Jerry curl. Ron Artest.
Who was that nigga? Who was that Huguenot leader?
Nigga, we talking about proving the slave trade. They still trying to prove black people are cheaters, right?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
I'm showing you
we talking about the slave trade. They still trying to prove
I'm showing you that they was getting their people together, bro. That's what I'm trying to show you.
Yeah, I know, bro. I hear you, fam. I hear you. Like I said, we talking about the slave trade. Y'all still trying to prove the color and the ethnicity or the race of people.
No, not y'all. I'm telling you,
that's not his plight. My plight is proving that they was getting their people together and it wasn't no slave trade, bro. It was just immigration that was.
That's why I agree with Lance.
Boys as a
because
slave trade,
I believe it was a slave trade.
Bro.
No, go ahead and tell him he wrong too. Tell him how he wrong too.
Yeah, he's wrong in the motherfucker, bro.
How?
I think in season 4, Lance and Madonna need to debate what did the slave trade happen? Period.
Oh yeah, he'll get smoked up, man.
He outpointed me this last debate we had, but he only outpointed.
I don't understand, Madonna. If you got so many copper colored, dark colored natives, what's the need to bring any Africans? Because according to you, in your premise, they didn't need any Africans.
I'm saying the number of Africans. They didn't need.
What do they need any Africans if they got enough natives?
Well, what would be the point of getting less than 100,000 Africans? It'd be pointless.
Like, what's the purpose?
That's like a drop in the bucket.
Well,
so our people was fighting them other motherfuckers too.
Hold on, Lance. You had your
because they figured if they could, if they could bring in a few more other people, because the natives was kicking their ass. They was getting help from the natives in the Caribbeans and Hispaniola and in the North America. So they figured, okay, we can bring.
So then, how was they enslaving these natives if they kicking their ass?
Because it's just like we got Uncle Tom's today. You had Uncle Tom's or Uncle Tomahawks back then.
So other natives was helping to enslave. So natives was helping to enslave other natives. Then.
Yeah, you had that going on.
So that can happen.
They got caught up in the hype because of the material good. They got
so that can happen because you said that didn't happen in Africa. So that can happen. So back to my point. Why do they need to bring in any Africans if there's so many natives here, bro?
Because they figured maybe if we get some of these Africans, if we can get some, maybe we can build up our plantation because we catching hell from the natives. Some of the natives they was catching hell. So and then,
but according to you, they got all these natives enslaved.
And they ran into another problem because they couldn't control the goddamn Africans.
But less than 100,000 wouldn't even
that's not
the hole in the bucket in the plantation. So less than 100,000 people wouldn't plug the hole in the bucket like in the plant. The whole like needing to fill labor holes in the plantations or whatnot. 100,000 doesn't touch nothing on that.
They had the natives doing it.
But you just said they couldn't control the natives and they didn't have enough natives.
I said not all of them. I said not all.
Hold on, bro. All right, let's stop playing. How many natives did they have enslaved? How many natives did they have enslaved by 1650?
I'll show you May 9th.
Yeah, man.
I promise you I will. I promise you. I'm gonna show you May 9th. How many natives was enslaved? Bruh, I can even go to DNA. But you know,
you can go to DNA.
Hell yeah.
So what's the haplogroup for these natives?
I'm gonna show you May 9th. Watch. I'm gonna show you, bro, because like I said, man,
so you do admit that you running and you scared to share your information, right?
Nah, I ain't never running. I'm gonna share it May 9th. How am I scared? I keep telling you I'm gonna show you May 9th.
I mean, nigga, you were supposed to debate me on May 4th. You sat on the goddamn thing all night. So
no, I did. I mean, bro, I'm out of town.
Yeah, here's the point.
I'm out of town on work. I still work my same schedule.
Here's the point. It's okay, bro.
I'll be back in Alabama on Friday.
Just say you don't have
with y'all like
some of these questions. All you gotta do is say
even when I'm at work, I'm on the phone with y'all because I'm a.
All you gotta do is say you don't have no questions, no answer to some of these questions, bro. That's all you gotta say. Just say I don't have no answer to some of these questions.
I've been answering every question you asked me. I've given an answer.
Okay, here's a question. Between the black natives and the non-black natives, what's the percentage of black natives to non-black natives? What's the ratio? At the point of
90, I'd say about 96%.
Of what to what?
96%
out of 100% of the population.
4% is the African.
No. Out of the 100% of the population of the Americas, I would say 96% was dark natives. 2% was white natives. 2% were yellow natives.
You know, that's 100%, bro. That's 100. Oh, you asked them what's the percentage breakdown of the natives that was here before anybody came?
Before European contact. So
now, does that include North and South America?
They just include North America.
So in North America, you're saying 98% were African looking?
96%.
And I will be showing that. I'll be showing that May 9th how they was indigenous Negroes, and they was at least 98% all what we call dark skin.
And you got their DNA?
No, I'm not saying DNA for that. I wasn't talking about DNA for that. I'm just saying how.
Hold on. So what do you got DNA for?
I'll show you May 9th on that one.
Okay.
Just to show that these people doing this time in these specific area are still the same people.
So basically, you saying we got the same. You saying we got the same DNA as those people?
No, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about May 9th.
I don't see how we do, bro. Like we would have like.
I didn't say we do. I'm saying.
No, but you saying we are those copper colored natives. That's what you saying.
Yeah, when I say we, is a collective. You know.
Yeah, no, yeah, we is a definite collective term. Got you. Right. I'm just trying
60% of the collective at least got a different DNA.
When I say we as a collective, I'm saying the indigenous people. That's what I'm talking about. Indigenous. Like we're indigenous, but we know we got different tribes within our indigenous makeup.
You do not sound like you know what you're talking about at all.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you May 9th. I know what I'm talking about.
I know you're going to show me May 9th. You think you know exactly what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, I ain't Keith Murray, but it's going to be a beautiful thing.
It is, brother. It is. It is. But remember, all of that, the legislation and the coppers and the this and the that, all that sound good. Deal with that 100,000, bro.
Bro, I got
this. Ain't none of that.
Anonymous, when I tell you I got this 100,000 on lock,
ain't none of that gonna change it, bro. All you doing is bringing up questions and bringing up silly ass innuendos.
I'm not bringing up questions, bro. I'm answering.
Yeah, that's all you doing. You have no answers. You just asking questions.
I've been giving answers all night.
Yeah, I know, brother. I know. I got you, fam.
Orthodox Moore asked me, he said, Madonna, if it don't go too far into your debate, and I gave as much of an answer that I thought was proper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you, fam. You good?
Straight up and real, no.
No, you're not. No, you're not, bro.
It's all right.
It's all right.
And everything I think I couldn't say, I said I was show May 9th.
I know, brother. I know.
I mean, I know you're ready for this debate, and I feel it in your heart. You're ready. You've been waiting. You've been anticipating. You want to go and get it over with to see what'll be popping on May 10th. I do too.
I'm not ready at all, bro. I'm not ready for this debate at all. I got all kind of anxiety on this joint, bro.
For what? All you gonna do is come with a little bit of Dane Calloway, a little bit of Albo, a little bit of Madonna, a little bit of rhetoric, a couple of books.
Everything I said, I'm saying is straight from certified PhD.
Yeah, and everything you saying shows you know what the hell you talking about.
Well, hey, this is their writing. You'll be able to source it. You'll be able to look it up yourself and read it for yourself without me being there.
How you talking about after you put me out, I'll be able to source it and look it up?
No, I'm saying anybody that listens to or watches the debate.
You bringing up magical, mythical sources that nobody ever heard of.
All the sources that I bring out, I'm saying the sources I bring out, you'll be able to go see them and see that this information has been.
That's why you got that stupid ass.
You're going to see that the information I'm bringing has been out
there for years. Don't matter, bro.
It just been
all that loud talking you trying to do, all that convincing you trying to do.
The making of many books.
You still gonna go home. Don't worry about it. And it's not even gonna be close, man. It ain't even gonna be close.
A lot of information
you yelling. You ain't gonna loud talk me.
Media,
you ain't gonna over talk me. You ain't gonna out talk me. Ain't none of that gonna matter, bro. You going home.
It don't matter.
Because you
that's Dane Calloway. That's all I can say, bro.
Because you cannot prove that under.
You
cannot prove that under.
Calloway. Like I said, I'm coming straight out of a different textbook. I gave the name of the one book the other day.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying you're copying Dan Calloway. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying A9. Say what? More.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're copying Dan Calloway. I'm saying I'm mad at that nigga. That's all. I'm like, man.
Okay, I'm mad at him too, but what he said about Harriet Tubman.
You should be mad at him for what he taught you about them stupid ass boats.
Man, I've been talking about this shit before. Was a such thing as a Dan Calloway.
You stupid too.
So look,
like Cedar Duke, like Cedar Duke of Tears, different countless other brothers. Man, this information we've been talking about this for years, man.
Yeah, y'all see this?
Nope.
Can't see it.
No, you don't give a shit to see it no more.
This is propaganda, right? But how do they depict the Indians?
This nigga.
Look at the feathers in the head.
Hold on, bro. You do understand that nobody is arguing that you got dark natives, right?
1780.
Nobody's arguing this.
Library of Congress. It's 1780.
Oh wait, but I thought you said you couldn't use pictures as propaganda and allegory. But you just brought this up and said this is propaganda.
Hold on. This is propaganda.
Bro, you're a fucking moron, bro.
They're depicted.
You're a goddamn moron.
As black.
I can't talk to you no more, dude. I can't. This is not even fair.
What he's saying though, even though it might be in a cartoonish form, it's still
I know the
color that they were.
I know, Madonna.
That's all.
And you're saying that you agree with him that this negates the transatlantic slave trade.
No, brother.
Oh yes, you are, because you keep defending this stupid shit.
He's not saying that negates the slave trade.
Yes, that's exactly
that it was dark skinned.
No, that's exactly what you're saying.
French, British, and whoever else you want to call them.
How many times do you got to tell
what they saw when they got over
stop
here?
Playing, Madonna. Stop playing, bro. Hey, stop being a fucking retard, bro. How many times do he got to tell you? How many times do he got to tell you? How many times do he got to tell you that he think it wasn't no transatlantic slave trade, and you keep laughing like a fucking buffoon?
I'm talking about the reason.
And you keep laughing like a buffoon.
I don't think Lance is showing a picture to show you the slave
trade. You keep laughing like a buffoon, acting like it's okay.
Don't do that.
Goddamn court judge.
Lance ain't showing you the picture. The
yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
He's showing you that it was naked. It was
everything that he's doing is to
what they saw
when
they came over here.
That's all it is. Madonna said he believed it happened. He said he disagreed with Lance that it didn't happen.
Yeah, but he's sitting there supporting him and bring up all this stuff.
I think Lance is showing these pictures that to show that these people were depicting what they saw when they got here. That's all. Not to defy the slave trade. I don't think he's doing that. That's all.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you trying to defend.
Am I wrong or right, Lance?
You know you're right, bro.
Thank you, King.
Yeah, I know both of y'all stupid. So it is what it is.
Show you right.
Don't trip, though.
God damn, that's it.
Just make sure you don't do a 3-day bitch fit after I send you home.
Oh man, bro, this is just a hobby. I don't never get salty.
Yeah, I know. That's what you say now.
It's debate, Luke. Come on, man. If I was salty, I wouldn't have came back.
Madonna ain't been on to do a string like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I'm a debate regardless, man. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, draw, I'm still being this thing because I love it. You know what I mean?
You going home?
It's all right if I do it. Hey, let's go home, but I doubt it.
Nah, ain't no if, ain't no doubt. You going home?
Only how I lose if the judges say, "Madonna, I don't believe none of that shit," and I'll just say, well, "Okay, good."
It ain't got to do with that. I'm gonna show the majority of what you're saying can be true, and we still get the numbers that we got. The rest of it is you not knowing fucking time and history, and you making shit up, or you misreading.
I don't know the time. If I told you, I'm giving you a timeline throughout the.
You don't even know when the perpetual slavery laws are passed.
I do. I'm the one who brought them up.
No, you didn't. Lance brought them up.
I did. No, I told you it was different laws being passed.
Nigga, Lance brought that shit up weeks ago. That shit was already in my head. Lance, tell the truth. Tell the truth and shame your father.
Well, you can go check the tape. We've been recording.
It was weeks ago.
I've been saying
weeks ago. It was before we was even on this channel.
Because of different laws
on the other channel.
And nigga was like, what laws are out there, Madonna? I said, man, you had all kind of treaties and laws getting passed back then.
You such an idiot, bro. You such a wicked liar, bro. Okay, bet. So what's this?
Okay, I'm gonna go back and try to find the
You're not gonna go find it because it was on the other channel. It was on the other channel.
No, man, I said this on this stream.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Lance said this shit weeks ago. Me and Lance was having these discussions weeks ago, bro. You late.
So here's the point for my debate against Inyame. But I didn't say
anyway, bro. So
that's even going further back.
Was there any legislation for the natives passed?
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go home, dude. And then did these people make a difference between Negroes and natives? Or Negroes and Indians?
Sometimes, but most times, no. All right, bro. Like they say today, it's like they say today, all niggas look alike. So a lot of them,
that's not what they did.
Which we did.
That's not what happened, bro.
Only how they distinguish some of us is by wardrobe. Until we went into slavery. And when we went into slavery, shit, you couldn't depict what was what.
When did the natives go into slavery?
Shit, a few years after they discovered Jamestown.
And then what about the Africans that are brought over here? When did they get brought over here?
Well, I'll show you that May 9th. Because we're still talking about shit. But see, I do know shit. Because when you gonna fail that miserably is that you trying to say they bringing slaves to colonies that wasn't even in existence.
Is that what I'm saying?
Was in existence.
Is that really what I'm saying?
So why the hell would you bring?
Is that really what I'm saying? Because according to you, look, watch this. No, watch this. Because according to you, y'all just said tonight that South Carolina was established in 1560.
That's what I'm.
What the fuck is?
It was. It was established. Just because you get there and name it, and you might have a damn hut and a goddamn couple.
Yo, it's probably gonna talk about the Gullah and the Geechee.
That don't mean you was established. It just mean you was you claim that.
And then when did they start importing Africans heavy to Charleston? What year?
I say that May 9th.
You don't know. It's all right.
I do know.
Oh, according to you, I'm talking about them bringing slaves to slave ports that don't even exist.
That's the part I'm trying to wrap my mind.
Because we're talking about in the early stages. I said when Jamestown was founded. So when it was founded, it wasn't. It was destroyed after it was first founded. They came back and the shit was tore down.
Right. Okay. But fast forward to the Charleston ports, though. That's not the same time period.
Right. That's what I'm saying. During this time period, I'm gonna show May 9th who was being transported and how many.
But like, so are you trying to, just so I'm clear, are you trying to say that the Charleston port didn't exist?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying the port existed.
So when you're saying that,
I'm saying the port existed, but it was small. In its inceptions, at the early ages and stages, it was small.
Right, but the argument is that the majority of slaves that were taken in the slave trade were taken later on, not early on. Right.
Even later on, I'm gonna show you.
I don't know what happened, bro.
Even later on, I'm gonna show that. I'm gonna show what I'm gonna show. Well, watch. It ain't gonna be what you think, but trust me, it ain't what they've been telling us.
So, okay, in an earlier conversation, we agreed that the slaves that were taken that you were talking about were most likely taken from the rice coast of Africa, right? Like from Senegal to Nigeria, etc.
Right? Yeah, some of them.
And we agreed that like the ones that went to South Carolina, Georgia, whatnot, would have been taken for the purpose of being able to grow rice and all them type of things there, right?
That's correct. And I'm also show. I'm just gonna say it because the debate is right around the corner now. I'm gonna show how a lot of them that occupied these rice fields were taken from the dark-skinned Aboriginal natives of the Hispaniola and the Caribbean and South America.
Oh, interest. Oh, okay. So, are you suggesting that they came from rice growing cultures themselves?
Mm-hmm. Some of them. Yeah, because once
and you can demonstrate that they were rice.
Because we've been told that this one guy had brought rice over here, but study has showed that you had rice fields that existed in South America and through Hispaniola and Caribbean islands.
So, just okay. So, out of curiosity, out of the well, are you saying that
the fact that he thinks that this ain't like?
I don't think I'm just having a discussion with Moore, man.
Yeah, we.
I'm just talking with Moore. We chopping it up. He actually give much information that I can to answer the brother's question. That's all.
You idiot.
Okay, bet. I'm with you, Moore. What's up, Moore?
I am. I'm gonna call you an idiot.
I'm still dialogue with my brother Moore. Go ahead, kid.
What form of rice is it that you're thinking that they were growing in from North Carolina to Florida on the islands or whatnot?
From what I've seen, it was just regular rice that was that a bunch of the natives had have got through a different trade that they was doing before the Portuguese and Columbus them got over here.
Have you ever heard of Carolina gold? Like the Carolina gold rice?
I heard. I don't think I have. Go ahead. What's up with that? Because my understanding of the Carolina gold, I thought was tobacco.
This nigga right here, bro.
But you're saying tobacco got
Carolina gold.
So you saying if Carolina gold was rice?
Yeah.
Do you even understand how the breakdown of what was being grown and where?
Yeah, I told him because history said this one guy got his name. They say he brought rice to the Americas.
Real quick, what was South Carolina?
You know what I'm talking about, more? The guy who they say first brought rice to
the Americas? Answer his question, bro.
Well, what was South Carolina's top crop?
Huh?
What was South Carolina's top crop?
From what I've seen, tobacco, corn, couple other spices, potatoes, and at a point
top
in time,
crop, bro. Not top crops. Top crop.
Well, it depends. Okay, we talking about the 1500s more?
Period.
Well, in the 1500s it was tobacco. Then over time,
right. You have a good point. I'll let you rock with that.
Yeah,
and the point that I'm talking about is actually okay. This is interesting. I like this.
And then as time grew on, rice became a hot commodity along with different spices and
right. South Carolina was the rice producer of the country. They were
the rice joint, especially when you get into the 17th century, which is when the transatlantic
in the 1500s it was tobacco. And then
right. Man, I gotta end it right there, man. Tomorrow, big bros. Yeah. I really appreciate y'all, man. I don't even want to fall asleep on y'all, man. I know y'all doing. But it's the argument league, television league. Shout out to Moore, A9, Madonna. Shout out to the tank.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, good time, Moore, A9, Squad, Pieces, Lance.
Peace, man. Black Power, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Marseille Hotel. Man, y'all already know it's the boy Swap Boss. AOY, the Solid Vision Debate League, Argument League. We out, man.